Hold on. Hope it doesn't show my desktop. So messy. Okay. Oh, it did. Hope it doesn't show my desktop. So messy.
Oh wow, there's a mirror image.
Okay. All right. Going live on IG. Wow. They're saying we may lose access to live. Only public accounts with 1,000 followers or more will be able to create live videos.
How many do we
At
have?
first, they told us we needed to have over 100, I think.
Oh, really? Was that what the limit? Now is
No,
the
but
First
that
time.
was YouTube. That was YouTube, no?
Oh, you're talking about Instagram?
Yeah, we're also live on
Okay, I thought
YouTube,
you
by the
meant
way.
YouTube.
Anyways, I can
Instagram.
chop this part off, I hope.
You
Okay, going
can't.
live.
Link to share, please. Hmm.
Did everybody get their invitations?
Mm.
Really? Can you request them?
Nope.
There's an echo.
Yeah, the problem is there might be an echo.
There is an echo.
Yeah.
So. Can we mute
If we
something? How do we
mute,
mute?
if you mute, somebody's gonna miss something.
If you mute one, like one of the lives is not like, do you get what I'm saying? If you mute Instagram, they can't hear you. If you mute,
I didn't mute
well,
it.
we
I just
can't
turned
mute
the
sensitive.
volume down. I turned
Actually,
the
okay,
volume on
turn
my
the
phone
volume
completely down.
all the way down on your phone, yes, and speak only to YouTube.
Guys, please send me an invite to join. Because when I send to you, it says you're unable to join.
Volume all the way down. Is it working?
Yeah, I think so.
Right, echo. Oh God.
Okay. Jessie left. Why did you leave?
I did. It was.
Adwoa.
What's happening? Am I
Oh,
here?
there she is. Okay. And Jessie, you also joined?
I think it's happening.
Jessie had to request,
No, I see that she joined. Or
but she left, no?
accept. Okay, accept. Everybody's volume is down? Somebody's
think
isn't.
so. I think Jessie.
Turn the volume on your phone completely down.
Doesn't work.
Use the side buttons. Mine worked.
Not working.
Hello? Is this not gonna work? That sucks.
See, we tried. Bye, Instagram.
Okay. All right,
So we
cool.
leave the live?
Yes.
I think
Okay.
as long as you're using the speak feature, the volume
It
can
won't
be
let
all
you.
the way down.
Okay. YouTube, we're here. We're back. Sorry for the slight confusion in the beginning. we were trying to simultaneously go live on Instagram and YouTube, but okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the 5th edition of Poka Reads. This is the 5th episode. Hope you're enjoying our series or our Poka Reads, series so far. It's brought to you by, of course, Poka, which is Poka Health app, which is the only period tracker you should be using if you're an African woman. It is a period tracker, but it also does so much more. It is a one-stop shop catering to the reproductive health and lifestyle needs of the modern African woman. So if you're not already on the app, please download it, search Poka Health app on either Google Play Store or the App Store and connect with a community of African women who are dedicated to optimizing their reproductive health. And you can also start to track your period and your symptoms. Okay, great. So we're back with Poka Reads. I'm Adele. I'm joined here by, my co-founders. Elise is here, and Adwoa is here. Jessie's here. Hi, everybody. I hope
Yeah.
you read NightBloom and you
Hello.
are ready and excited to chat about this book by Peace Adzo Medie, who is, I believe, Liberian born, but she is Ghanaian. And yeah, she wrote this book, and let's get into it. This is Elise's pick, and she'll sort of lead the discussion as we talk about, our thoughts in the book, the themes that came up, how it made us feel, all the good stuff. So let's launch into it. Elise, take it away.
Alrighty. So first off, I will correct your pronunciation of her name. It's
Oh,
Peace Ajo Medie. I like
no
audiobook
way.
it- because in Ewe DZ is pronounced like a J because they don't have the J letter. So DZ like Adwoa, like when they have Adwoa or Ajo.
Basically, a job for
Yeah.
Ewe in Ewe.
Yeah.
Adzo is Adwoa
So
for Ewe, Adwoa and Ewe.
yeah.
Okay, good to
hmm
know.
So Peace Ajo Medie, NightBloom. First off, I like to listen to audiobooks when I'm driving. And one of the things it gets hard when it's an African book because usually the narrator is not African. And
Mm,
so when they're saying things, I'm like, can you please say it right? And then it just puts me off the book. So if
mm,
I'm not gonna physically read it, then I'm not gonna enjoy that audiobook. But this audiobook, I listened to the audiobook and I read the book. And she actually had like people, like Ghanaian people narrate this audiobook and it was great. So
That's wonderful.
kudos to her. Yeah, it was great. Like when they pronounce the words, you're like, yes. Like they're
mm.
saying ifo. It's not like someone saying ifo. Like, yeah.
That's all.
So that was
That was
really nice.
me. That was actually me when I was reading the book, I'm sure.
So you
Definitely
said
butchering
FO.
all the words. But yeah, you'll hear more of that as we chat, please. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So excited to discuss this book. First, I'll just ask everyone thoughts, like general thoughts about the book. What did you all think?
Um, General thoughts. I think like
hmm
you, I liked how Ghanaian it was. I liked how relatable it was. Um, I enjoyed it. It will come out as we go on to what extent I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it for the most part. It was very relatable. The secondary school stuff, the food, the just even the family dynamics. It felt familiar. So yes, overall it was a good read. I enjoyed it.
Next. Okay. Anybody else want to go?
Yeah, you know what? We'll maybe unpack some of my thoughts later, but definitely I was into the book almost immediately, I think, by like the first chapter. When I first sat down, I read like the first 3 chapters and like it gripped me. And I think it was because of how familiar it felt. Not to say that I've experienced or, exactly these things, but I could just, I don't know, like it just entered my body and I felt really much like, like I knew what was happening or very familiar. Like this is something that I could imagine playing out in my family, something like a friend's family, you know what I mean? So, and I also felt like her writing personally was impeccable in my opinion. Like it flowed easily. It didn't take away from the story. And there's some writing styles that kind of leave the story perhaps a little bit choppy and kind of bring you in and out of the plot. But this one flowed very nicely. I really very much enjoyed her writing style as well. And I was pleasantly surprised halfway through the book. And I think somebody spoiled this for me, but like when the perspective switched, right? I don't know if I read somewhere that was happening, but I was happy to see the other perspective, which I perhaps thought it was a little bit rushed and didn't enjoy as much, but it was yeah, overall, very good book. Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah. Yay. Okay, Jessie, you.
I too liked it. Well, the first part anyway, we will delve deeper as we go on. It was an easy read, really like that. It was easy to get into. I think after the
Yeah.
first sentence, I was like really engrossed. I quickly read all of part one, and then part two was a little bit slow for me, but it was an easy read. Overall, I think I liked it. Yeah, we can delve deeper as we go.
Okay, nice. I liked it too. I guess I chose it because I had read it the first time and then loved it and had my whole family read it. I think my mom and my two older sisters and dad, they're the only ones left to read it. But like my two younger siblings have read it and we've had a discussion on like this is
Okay.
why. Could this be
Nice.
us? Like, things like that.
I
So that
think
was
this is a
funny.
very discussable book.
Very
It's a
Yeah,
book that can
exactly.
have so much
It would also make for
discussion.
a good
Yeah.
film. Like if you had a good screenwriter, I think it would be a good
hmm
Ghanaian film to bring to the screens.
You're right. Yeah, it really
Yeah.
would. And so like you said, the first line, I feel like Peace has a way of catching you with her first line. I read her previous book, and that first, like, I can recite the first line
Yeah.
of the book,
Let's
and
see
I'm
it.
like,
Okay, what book is that?
What is
it's
it?
called
His only wife.
it's called His Only Wife, and
Right.
the first line is Elikim married me in absentia. Like, what do you mean?
That's so true. I remember that
I
line.
mean, yeah, that's
See?
something that it's normal. I'll
Stick with
understand.
you.
Very relatable.
Exactly.
But someone else would be like, what's happening? Some other person from a different
Exactly.
culture, yeah.
But
Exactly.
this is
You
a
know, like it
literally
happened.
literary effect. What is it actually called? Like there's people, authors will mull over that first opening sentence. Like,
Yes, it's a
so
big deal.
is there like what's the literary sort of word for it? Is there anything like that? I don't
I
know. I know
don't
it's very
know
important to
actually.
authors, like how you kind of set the stage for your book, how you open it is
Yeah.
something that a lot of people will spend a lot of time perfecting or crafting. And like I'm trying to remember what was the first opening of this book? Let's see.
The first paragraph, I already
My mother
started
said,
highlighting things. I highlighted so much in this book.
I guess yours wasn't a library book because I could not highlight mine.
I see.
Oh, right.
Like,
Yes,
still,
yes.
yeah.
My
My
mother,
mother said that she'd always known.
yeah, good.
that Selassie will break everything she touches or something like that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that part, like the part about her breaking everything she touches, you
But
know?
that was such a deep thing to say about someone.
About a
And to your
child.
child.
Have we
About a
started?
child to your child.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Okay, so
This is something that mothers actually can say because they don't understand the the emotional effects and psychological
Yeah.
effects this have. They just say throw offhanded comments and anyway.
but I mean, a lot of mothers do that. They don't realize that their kids are paying attention and some of these things are
True.
never going to fade from their minds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So now let's start. Let's actually start. Let's start. We've talked about thoughts. I want to know what everyone's favorite character was. Favorite character, least favorite character.
My favorite character. I didn't really, if I had to choose a favorite character, Uncle Yao. I have my problems with
Okay, it was
him,
a sweet one.
serious problems with him, but He was my favorite character. Least favorite character,
Yeah.
clearly Aunt Lucy. Could not stand
Aunt
this
Lucy
woman.
was
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
let me
Okay.
think. Favorite character. I'm torn between Uncle Yao and Ayoko.
Is
If I
it
have to
Yao?
pick, like, I think it's pronounced Yao.
What? I'm
Yao.
actually it's Yao. I think it's Yao.
Yeah,
I
the
was
way it's, I
Oh,
was
pronouncing
Yao.
pronouncing
Yao
it Yao, the way
all the
it's
time.
spelled wasn't the traditional Yao because it was Y-A-O.
Mm-hmm.
That's Ewe for Yao, like the Ashanti Yao. Ewe is Yao. But I stand to be corrected on the pronunciation of that one.
Well, if there's any LS watching us,
Please
they can let
correct
us
us.
know. I was saying Yao the whole time, only
We'll
because
call him Yao.
like I've seen, yeah, Yao, so Uncle Yao. Anyways,
Yao.
so if I have to pick, like, I didn't feel an emotional connection to character necessarily. Just I guess the story generally, like I said, was relatable. But I think Ayoko and Uncle Yao probably. They all have their flaws, but for the most part, they were people that I enjoyed.
Mhm. You know, we only got a tiny, tiny glimpse of the grandmother. What was her name? You know,
Forget
that
her
whole
name.
family, yeah, the matriarch.
The
But
matriarch,
yeah,
yeah.
but like how she was written, and I thought she was a good woman. You know, contrary to what we had heard about her, the way that she was
Mm-hmm.
presented to the audience, how she loved her family, how she took Akofa in, and just that matriarch that she was for everybody. I kind of admired her, and I don't really know beyond that how she was and how she may or may not have treated Auntie Lucy or whoever else, but I liked her. I also, in terms of least favorite character, I think it might be the protagonist of the book, who's Akofa, honestly. Is it Akofa?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think we
Yeah,
agree on
Kofa.
that.
Did not like her at all.
Ado,
I liked
yeah.
her
So
even less at the end of the book than I did at the
yeah.
beginning of the book.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think the
Exactly.
protagonist wasn't a likable character, as relatable as she is. And I think maybe that's the beauty of this book, is that it's, you know, showcases humans and human personality and duality and
Mm-hmm.
perspective so well. And so
Yeah.
there were honestly good and honorable things about her, but as well, I just didn't like perhaps how she was raised by her mother and who she became in the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised that you like Uncle Yao because I thought he was a spineless man.
I thought so too.
I did not like
I think
him.
so.
I
I
did
think
not
so.
like
As a
him.
But there isn't
father.
much to like about. uh, So traditionally speaking, in Ghana, parents, the dads usually leave, what is it?
Parenting?
Raising of kids to the wife, especially
Mhm.
since he was the breadwinner.
Mhm.
And Aunt Lucy didn't really work, and he was always at work most of the time.
Her
I
supermarket
thought
begs to differ.
Yeah, you know?
Her
I
supermarket
mean,
begs to
yeah,
differ.
those are I have problems with him. I do have problems with him,
Yeah.
but he seemed like a good
So
man who just
what did you like about him? That's my question. Because I don't
What did I like
know.
about Uncle Yao?
Yeah. Yes.
You know, he liked Selassie.
Yes.
Yeah.
He wanted to be fair to Selassie. He wanted to have a playful spirit, and his wife, he had a playful spirit actually. He wanted to play
Yeah,
with
he
his wife,
played with them.
and his wife and child were just not having it. So when I think I started reading from Selassie's perspective, and they had a dance party at some party in Osu or something, I'm like, this is what this man just wants. And every time he brings something up, his wife will shoot him down. He doesn't want to pay for school fees abroad, and he's bullied to do that. I think he could have spoken up, but at some point, it's 2 against 1. What are you going to do?
I see. I see people celebrating the bare minimum, but that's okay.
No, you know what? I think, and I
No,
think it
just
was
kidding.
Selassie who said this. He's a peacemaker, like, you know, like just a
Yes.
guy who wants to stay out of trouble and live and enjoy his money and have a peaceful life. So his
Agreed.
choice of wife is questionable. Um, but also men that aren't as strong, perhaps, like we're saying, don't have that much oomph or that much backbone, kind of perhaps, supplement that by having a stronger woman. And that may or may not work to their advantage. And I think in his instance, it worked to his disadvantage. But no, he was very much a likable character. And I think we only learned that from Selassie's perspective, like Jessie said.
So
And also,
I
we found
agree
out
that
that Aunt Lucy was hiding some of her treatment of Selassie from people. Could have been hidden from you. I mean, he should have known it's your house. He should know everything
that's
happening.
my issue. My issue with that is very much, especially the family part. We live in a society, well, Ghana is a society that's very, and Africa in general, for the most part, is very family, like we're very familial. Um we like to live in community. If at every step you're trying to help your family members and your wife is against it, that warrants a conversation. And I feel like he was always very avoidant about those things. He would go and make peace with his family and then come back home and try to make peace. Like that, like I really hated that because then it perpetuates the fact that somebody's a bad person. Or
Yeah.
do you get what I'm saying? It makes it look like it was just, yeah. So I wouldn't say he did have admirable qualities. I agree. And he was he was one of the few people that was good to Selassie.
Yeah.
Even her father was not as good to her
Oh,
as
her
he
father
was.
was the worst.
I know,
I
right?
mean,
I wish he had died in childbirth.
comparatively, Uncle Yao is an angel.
Exactly.
Uncle
So I
Angel.
feel like he does, but I didn't really like him. I feel like he could have done a bit more. But who's my least favorite
Yeah,
character?
who
I
did you
agree that
like?
it
Yeah.
is Auntie Lucy is my word. Obed was my favorite character. Obed was
Good.
Selassie's
Obed
husband.
is
Ah,
Selassie's husband. Oh, he's a good
He's the
guy. He's a
only
sweet guy.
he and I think Philip and the
I think
wife, they
Selassie's
were
brother, Philip.
yes,
Philip.
that's Philip.
Philip,
Yeah.
Good
was
too.
good. Obed, I think he's a
Philip,
little bit corrupt.
For
Only
a
real?
little bit what?
because
He's a politician after all.
Wow.
He's in politics.
I
a politician in
mean,
his 30s
No, but
with that much money.
Selassie said he denounced
Come
people
on.
who were corrupt. So
yeah. And I feel like when he
He's
found out,
Because
certified.
we
He's
know
like
how much
35
public
and already
servants
has a
make
house.
and yeah, and you're in your
please,
30s, you haven't
please.
had time to work and
Selassie's
he was
accumulate
a
wealth.
Selassie's
president's
Choba was
assistant.
making
He
money.
was your president's
That's his
assistant.
Chomba.
Okay.
Selassie's
I don't know how much they
Choba is
make.
also making money. Stop it. But I
Well,
liked his
actually, maybe
character.
it's Selassie's money. It's probably
Maybe
Selassie's
it's
money.
Selassie's
That's
man. Yeah.
Sure.
She's supporting him so he can fix the nation.
That's what bought his Mercedes. Uh, Elise,
Yeah,
sorry, you were saying, oh, bad,
yeah,
yes.
Obed, Philip, and Becky. Those are my only because when I read the book, especially when I read
He's Philip's
Akofa's
wife.
part. Yeah,
Mhm.
Becky is Philip's wife. When I read Akofa's part, at the end of that part, I was like, there's nobody that I like in this book. Like, what's going on? Until I read Selassie's part, and I was like, okay, maybe. And that was like, he came getting to the end. And so until that
Yeah.
part, I was like, did she write everybody to be hated in this book? Is that what this is?
Was Selassie
But yeah,
hated?
But are we biased towards Selassie?
I
That's kind of what I'm
I didn't
hearing.
I
I'm
didn't
hearing
I
that
didn't love
people are
her.
more sympathetic towards Selassie than they are towards
Yeah, I was gonna
Absolutely.
say.
Honestly, I don't
Yes.
care for Selassie. But between Selassie and Akofa, obviously
Yeah.
Selassie's choice.
No, because I think, let me say this now. I think human beings in general have a sort of disposition to always side with the underdog. And sometimes the underdog needs to be sided with, but just because they're the underdog does not make them right. And so
Yeah,
because
that's true.
Papa is privileged, because she comes from a good home, because she's loved, because ABC, you almost want to say that she's the bad person. I want to make sure that we don't do that because
Mm-mm.
she
Yeah.
had it all and Selassie didn't have anything. So all of a sudden she's bad and the other person is good. But that, so let's really be careful with analyzing numbers.
There are certain
feel
things
also
Yeah,
that
like
I think
Selassie did that were terrible. There are certain things she did that like didn't make any sense. How do you go and beat somebody? Like, how do you go to your father's house and go and insult his wife?
no, but
oh
that's
Things
yeah,
like
no,
she was a
that.
some of
child.
these
I
things.
No,
mean,
she was a
that's
child.
right.
Exactly.
She
I
was a
think I can
child.
defend that. I can
I
defend that.
agree that she was a child. It doesn't change the fact that it was bad, but she was a child. We all
No, it was
agree
bad,
to
but
that
like
part.
things
Exactly.
escalated. She didn't go
She
planning
didn't
to do
go,
Mhm.
that.
yeah.
And
Things
she had
Yes,
just been
escalated.
agreed.
Yeah, she had been
She had
stood
just
up
been
for
humiliated.
hours,
Yeah,
you
agreed.
know.
Like
Yeah.
there are many things she did that, like, being told from Auntie Lucy's perspective, how can the child do that? Like, isn't she being taken care of? But then you listen to her side and you're like, oh, okay, maybe this is why she did that. It's not right, but now we kind of understand why she did that, that kind of thing. Yeah. So, yeah.
But didn't we feel sorry? I mean, I think until Selassie's bit, I felt sorry or I bought into Auntie Lucy's story or
Yeah, a little
or
bit.
Mm-mm.
whatever it was happening. Like I
I
really
did.
From
felt
day
like
one, after that
Me
first
too.
Because
she
From
incident,
got through
I
it.
said, nah, this woman,
especially when she
Sorry
Auntie
to
talked
Lucy is the
about,
bad
even
one. But I was like,
especially when she
is
talked
Selassie
about
just a
her
naughty
I felt
girl?
mother.
no, but I could no, listen. Her backstory is that her family was done dirty, right? By was
That's
it
That's the
when I
thing.
knew that. That's when
Her
I knew that she was a
PTSD was
problem.
showing.
that she was
That's when I knew she was the
PTSD?
problem.
I knew first sentence that this woman is the problem.
No, me, I bought into it. Oh, I was just like, oh, look at
Because
how them are
Yeah.
treating her. We
I,
cannot.
and
No,
even
but once
if
she was the adult in the room,
Lassie is bad, I would never tell my child that about their cousin. I would never ever.
Yeah.
No,
That was the
especially
Yeah.
someone that they have such great childhood memories. They were
yeah.
friends. Even if there's a falling out, I'm never going to tell my child that your cousin is your cousin breaks everything they touch or
Yeah.
whatever thing
That's it
that
was
does.
She didn't almost treat
yeah.
Selassie like a daughter. Like it's almost like she knows she didn't have friends, apparently, So I think she treated Selassie, she didn't kind of honor that mother-daughter sort of like that relationship. I mean, I think they did have that, but in other respects, she treated her like a best friend. So like verbal diarrhea,
you
anything
mean
that she
Akofa?
thinking, yeah, sorry, Akofa, sorry, her daughter. So anything that she
Yeah,
was kind of
that's so true.
thinking,
They
she
had
was,
an
so it's like she had the
inappropriate
mother-daughter, but also best
relationship.
friend. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was too much. I feel like
Yeah.
she forgot to be the mother sometimes. And Akofa wasn't 18 and she was already talking to her about her dad, about their
Mhm.
marriage, about Selassie's mother. That was just too much information to give a child.
Mhm.
So of course she's
Yeah.
going to have a certain behavior towards these people, including her father. She shouldn't
Mhm.
have felt that way about her
Mhm.
father, but
Exactly.
she felt that way. Yeah.
And and when it came down to the important things, when she told you you were there acting as if nothing has happened, like I was so confused.
Right?
You've been so like protective over your daughter for so long, and then she tells
Yeah,
you
that
that
was a bit
somebody touched her
confusing. That was actually very
inappropriately,
Yeah. And
confusing.
this big
and then
painful thing has happened to her. You don't tear down the
and
world.
yet I was so
It didn't really
confused.
match with, yeah, her character. Honestly, that reaction was a
No,
bit
but then it showed me
As
that
her
she
brother.
was
in your
only
child.
like sympathetic towards her family members. All of this, the way she brought up Akofa, all of that was because of how her family members had been treated.
Were treated. Yeah.
Everything, she was very sympathetic towards my siblings, my people. She was never, it had nothing to do with anybody
And now,
else.
you
It
know
was
what?
very,
I am
I had to
actually,
protect my people.
yeah,
You're
I'm
talking to
second
your
guessing
people.
her retelling of her grandmother's story or her mother's story.
Exactly.
It didn't even
Because
Somebody
happen
should
that
tell us
way.
this
the real
woman is
story.
just looking back
We
with
need to hear from the mother.
a bitter colored glasses. I don't know. Or is
Yeah.
Yeah, she was sowing seeds of bitterness in her daughter from day one. And
Yeah,
so
from day
that daughter
one.
had no
Yeah.
chance to be normal, I think. And even she sowed seeds, like her hopes, her dreams, she poured into her daughter as well.
Exactly.
Really not even allowing her to be herself. So interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now let's dive into the themes. Like what were the themes that you thought were explored here and like were they explored well? What yeah.
So glad you asked.
Huh?
I have
I've been
highlights.
Should
waiting.
So I think one of the big ones, I don't know what to call this theme, but there was very clear, I guess, villainizing of things that are indigenous to Ghana and like a praising of things that are arbitrary, abroad.
Oh, interesting. I
Mm,
didn't get
And
that.
she would say things like, for example, just the fact that Selassie's house didn't have as many books as her house did meant that they were not a smart family because they don't read as many English books as Akofa and her family do. And then things like they didn't let Akofa speak Ewe growing up at home. And Akofa also had kids and didn't let her kids speak Ewe either. She didn't even want her in-laws to call her kids their Ewe names. She wanted them to be called Hazel and something, Harper. I was like, those are the whitest names I've ever heard for two Ewe children.
Come on.
What's happening
Like,
here?
what's happening here?
Because
You're married to a
why?
man
Why would
called
you do this to your
the
kids?
whatever. That's just that villainizing. And what's not Akofa's fault? That's how she grew up. Her mother wanted
Yeah.
to make sure that she fits in with, because they were preparing her to go to school in the US from the time she could read. And in order for her to be able to fit in
Correction.
the US,
Auntie Lucy is the one that was preparing, not her father.
Auntie Lucy, actually, I was not part of this. This is so true. Auntie Lucy and Akofa were on a mission to take her to America for school. So it was like everything
Yeah.
was geared towards that. So there wasn't like a growing up with national pride. It was more about let me go and be American. And I think it showed even in her job, when she didn't get the promotion, she was shocked because she had been a good little black girl and they didn't reward her for it. And she was just like,
Yeah.
what? Sorry. And then she realized that actually at the end of the day, you're still a black person in America. So you might as well take pride in your nation and in where you come from, because they don't care. You look like an other to them anyway. So I think that
Yeah.
was the first thing that stood out to me.
And
It stood out
it's a
to me
very
as
common
well.
theme.
Yeah, it really stood out to me.
Common in what way? Like in the book or common in other books? What do you mean common?
Common in African culture, where especially Africans living in the US who think that my children should go to an all-white school because that's where the opportunities are. My children should not be speaking Tree by heart. And then the kids grow and then now they want to learn Tree and they have to pay tutors to teach them the language. And or like where my children should go to become doctors. Like the way Akofa's mother was obsessed with this whole become a doctor business. I mean, I think Akofa was very,
And a
very
neurologist or something, right?
passionate
I don't know
on
why,
top.
but
I don't think
but
Akofa wanted to be a doctor. She would not have abandoned it so quick. But
so
even
quickly, yeah.
yeah, I also saw it in how Auntie Lucy really wanted her to go to the US to be a doctor. You can be a doctor in Ghana. It doesn't make you less of a
Any
doctor.
list,
You would
exactly.
rather use all of your savings to send your kid to a university in America and then complain that, I don't know, the schools here are underfunded. You're paying $30,000 to another school. You could pay that to this school, and this school will be funded
It wouldn't even
properly.
cost that much.
Right.
That much,
And
yeah.
also, it's not just in America or anywhere in abroad. Actually, parents in Ghana would buy you from speaking a local language to their kid because they don't want them to speak a local language.
I was gonna say
Right
it's not
here in Ghana, it's ridiculous.
yeah.
I mean,
It's
growing
something
up,
that's
don't you remember
happening.
they said don't speak vernacular? Like
Vernacular in
Yes.
school.
What is
Yeah,
vernacular?
growing up, we used to get punished for
Yeah,
speaking.
names of
Like you have
vernacular
How do you
to.
read
speakers.
this?
Ridiculous.
But yeah,
Wow.
I see. I mean, for me, what stood out with one thing that came up that made me perhaps think, first of all, I think Aunt Lucy was hypocritical because at one point she was sort of criticizing Zornam, Selassie's mother, for wanting to send her child to Saint Therese or whatever it was because Akofa was. So she's like, you should always cut your coat according to your size, etc., etc. But in the same way, she wanted.
Favorite character is her.
Oh, the Zonam, yeah.
I like her now.
Yeah, she
That's
was
so
gone
true.
too soon.
Gone
See,
too
yeah.
soon, honestly. We need to make an
Definitely a
obituary for
favorite
her.
character.
Right?
And her advice to
Yeah.
her daughter, Stella advice.
Which
She
one?
didn't buy into the peer pressure until it came to actual school. And Selassie
Yeah.
not doing
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That was the only thing that she was particular about. The fight,
Yeah.
the part where she fought with her
Yeah,
husband.
her
That was so
I
funny
feel
to
like-
me.
The way
I
she
feel
sat on him.
Exactly. I overlooked that part, and my brother was like, "Did you see the way the woman sat on her husband?" I was like, what do you mean? He went and he opened that part and he read it out to me. He was like, he sat on her. It's like, oh my god.
They said he's a small man and she's a big woman. So
Exactly.
this shrimpy Ghanaian man being sat on by this. Yeah.
A small Ewe man and a big Ewe woman with big buttocks. I can picture it.
That man definitely had a type.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
so
He deserved it.
the one part that stood out to me that made me feel like, yes, maybe speaking to the theme that you just brought up, Najwa, was there's a part in the book where Aunt Lucy was telling Alpha to put on sunscreen or something like that. I don't know. But for me, that sounded really, really foreign because, okay, when was she born? 85. And it was maybe when she was 9 or 10. And I just remember, yes, now in this day and age, there's this whole hype around sunscreen. But as Africans, like that was never part of, the way
It's
we
not a culture.
Yeah.
think.
It wasn't.
Not a culture in
They'll
this.
just it was only for fair kids, like you become black, so come inside. It was only for a very fair, like
So it was
And even then, I never
strange.
heard, sunscreen
No.
sunscreen. It was
So
always
later on,
come
yeah.
flee the sun.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
when I read that, I was just like, okay, so this is very much a way to tell us that this woman very much, like you said, maybe exalted what foreigners do, like what white people do, whereas they
Exactly.
need sunscreen, whereas perhaps we don't, at least back then, we, if we're putting the book into context, wouldn't be a group of people putting on
A
sunscreen.
normal
We
thing, yeah.
Telling
do,
us,
but before,
yeah.
no. So anyways,
Yeah.
okay, interesting. But that's still going on, you guys. And so, or is
It
that,
is.
Oh
It
yeah.
really
Oh yeah.
is.
but is it changing?
not
Do you think it
Definitely.
is changing or not
I
changing?
think it's changing in our culture. Well, okay. So when I was growing up, my parents have a rule: you speak Chi at home, you speak English in school because you will learn English anyway. But they need to make sure that you can speak Chi. Now, my
Yeah.
parents don't. They don't like the biggest punishment you could get was being grounded. My brother, my brother could not
I
speak.
mean,
We were all not good at
was it
at
the biggest
Chi.
punishment, really?
I know, right? No
Because they know that if you
If
beat
you have
us,
an African
slap,
household,
slap.
they knew it wouldn't work. They knew it wouldn't work. So they had especially when they're planning a family trip. Like I remember one time, my dad was a lecturer, so he would have visiting lecturers and he would take them to Cape Coast and things like that. And that's when you'll be grounded. So you'll be the only one in the house and they'll be gone to Cape
okay,
Coast. So it was a really,
Okay.
it was a
Now that's a
Every
terrible
punishment.
punishment.
Otherwise, go to your room, sure. I want to
Oh
be
no,
I
here.
want to be
Want to be there?
anyways.
I'm already inside.
So my brother refused to speak Chi. This boy was grounded as it was so he just nobody told him to start speaking the Chi. It was a very weird, I didn't think it was a bit why if he doesn't want to speak it, don't what's but now I'm old and I realize, oh, they really needed us to understand the language. There's so many
Yeah.
people, some of my colleagues who
Yeah.
are trying to pay tutors to teach them Chi and oh, how do we say this? Sometimes I call my parents to ask how we say
Charlie.
something and I'm very embarrassed. But I feel like our generation is doing better than previous generations in terms of making it's no longer punishable
I
to
think
speak Chi. Nobody's punishing people to speak Chi
in school,
anymore.
really? That's amazing.
You mean for speaking Chi?
Like in school.
Yeah, are they punished now?
I don't know. I have no
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I feel like my nieces would have told me, but yeah,
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think it's a big thing anymore. Those were wild times. Names of vernacular speakers.
Can you believe it?
So, any other themes you guys?
And yeah, they
Stood- that
talked
stood
about,
out.
I just saw something I highlighted here in relation to that. Was it tech where lecturers are constantly on strike, or Legon where they harass girls and fail those who refuse to have sex with them?
First
I
of
was also
all,
confused. Where did you get this from?
first of all,
Because I went to tech. At least you went to
and
tech.
I don't remember a strike.
What are you talking about? This is not my reality.
I do not
And I
remember a
know so
strike.
many people went to Legon, never, and not to say there isn't a lecturer who won't harass a student, but it can happen in
Exactly.
It's not
very
the,
expensive
yeah.
Legon.
And it does
Yeah.
Wait,
happen in the
what's the
US.
tech thing?
Well,
Is
definitely
it a strike
happen,
or
Where
but
the
it's
lecturers
like,
are
harassment?
constantly on strike. I was like,
And then
Oh, is this
why is tech
Unilag?
in this?
Come on.
I you say
And it's not even
Unilag.
accurate.
Oh my God.
The Nigerians
right,
are
you're
I do
right.
remember one strike when we're in uni. I think maybe my
I
second
don't.
year, there was that one big, for 3 weeks, there was no class, which I took opportunity to visit my friends in tech and went to hang out. It was a nice holiday. But that's just the one time. I don't remember. It's not a thing. It's not
Yeah,
consistent like that.
it's so unusual.
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's just
And also even in the US, there are lecturers who are harassing their students. They're very subtle about it, maybe more subtler than African men, because African men, you know, our audacity.
We just
Audacity.
But
raise. You see,
like,
African men, our race is different. It's a race issue.
True.
yeah,
We also have audacity, more audacity. These men have audacity. Ghanaian men.
exactly. Yeah. So that's what it is, because they are really they are doing it. Also, here they are afraid of consequences. In Ghana, the consequences are not that many. So unfortunately,
We
they
end up
get
blaming the
away with it.
students.
They
Why did
they
you wear
get away
something
with
short
it so
class?
often. Yeah.
Another theme that stood out to me was, and perhaps this, and this also came out in the book, at least your book, Perspectives, was this whole idea of, I guess what will people think, and just hiding, like, if, and did I see this? But like Ghanaians are afraid of the truth. They don't want to know
Yep.
the truth and would rather hide and suppress the truth and lie to themselves, lie to each other, just to
Yeah.
put up a facade. And I think that came out very strongly in this book. Even with, what happened to Akofa and how the mother was just like, rather than sort of thinking about the impact, the psychological impact it might have on her child and helping her minimize that, it was rather, she was willing to have her precious daughter bear this huge burden rather than really just speak the truth and point a finger and say, this exists in our family. Like, this is how Michael is. And just because he's like that doesn't taint the rest of the family, but this is his character.
Exactly.
And also, yeah, like, I don't know, I just feel like just as a society, even now in general, that there's too much, and, and like I said, in perspective, there's too much posing and less kind of wanting to
real
on the truth and like face reality, essentially.
Yeah.
I wonder what that's all about.
Do you know what made that situation so much worse for me? The fact that she knew that Michael had done this with Selassie.
But
when I read that part,
did she know?
She didn't know.
She did.
I don't
She
not
had
know.
told.
She completely
Selassie had
framed
told
it
her.
in her mind.
In her mind,
What'd you say?
Selassie was coming on to Michael, I think.
No, that's what she made it look like. But Selassie had told her, no?
No.
I thought that
Selassie
Selassie had
after that night just
must
left.
have missed it.
Yes, she left.
I
But she
feel
must have
like
seen them always hanging out in the kitchen together. And in her head, Selassie's a bad girl. She's probably trying to sleep with my brother.
no, but somebody had said that he had done something because somebody warned Selassie. Who warned Selassie?
About
Somebody
Michael?
talked about it. Yeah. Did Michael come to the house with somebody else?
Nobody warned
No.
Their older brother, I think.
I think their older brother, somebody must have told Selassie something, because I remember that, like, what's it called? I kept thinking, but they had told you. I kept thinking in my head, Selassie, they had told you this. Now they're going to say you're a bad girl. That's what I remember. I kept thinking that. I'll find that part, but I can't.
Did she know that it actually happened? Like that night, do you think she heard the screams and didn't come out? Did you know what I mean? Like, or did she just think there was a flirtation between them? Or did she actually know that Michael might have actually, sexually assaulted her and then did nothing about it? I don't think it was so clear.
From my understanding, it didn't seem like she knew.
Yeah.
My thing was, this is a 15-year-old girl and your adult brother.
She should have immediately called her brother to heel.
Exactly. No matter what happens, no matter what happens, your brother is at fault.
Only flirting because she can't flirt back.
Because she has no, she's a child.
She cannot consent
so
to
my
any of this.
thinking,
so immediately stop your brother, stop talking to Selassie, leave the kitchen.
Exactly. So which was questioning Akofa about it. I was like, you're acting as if this is the first time this is happening. You know your
my brother is capable.
And also, you guys, what exactly happened with Akofa? Was she raped? She assaulted?
Yeah, I think the same thing he did to Selassie. I think that's what it was.
Selassie was actually raped.
She was too.
I think she was too. She was just inebriated, like, so she couldn't tell. She had been drugged.
I tried to reread it and I'm like, what happened? Because she woke up with someone behind her, lying by her or something like. I'm like,
yeah, like there was pressure on her
body.
Because
if it's actual rape and her mother did nothing.
I think it did happen.
It is. That's exactly what she told her mother.
But the way she framed it, I think she said,
Yeah.
I think towards the end, if I don't remember what page it was or I've gone back, it says like when he was finished, or you know what I mean, just to imply that or something
There was
about
a
she
thing to
didn't move
finish.
until he left, or like, you know, so
Yeah.
thing happened. He finished, she was stiff or couldn't really perceive what was happening, but he finished whatever he was doing. And guys, what else was he doing?
Oh my
So,
God.
Yeah.
It
but
makes it
honestly,
even worse because now I
Yeah.
can't
Even worse.
anymore reconcile who Auntie Lucy is to Akofa. And
Like,
when your daughter is raped, it
yeah.
doesn't matter who it is.
No, but
Even
that
if it's
happens a
your
lot.
husband.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Like I'm saying, I'm afraid to look at the truth, because if you look at the truth, you have to act. If she agrees that really Michael did this
My
rather
brother
than
did it, yeah.
convince a lot, then it's just like now you have to confront your brother, you have to confront your sister for leaving her alone. You have to, like, you will tear the family
Call the
apart.
police.
You must call the police.
Absolutely.
You will
Yeah.
tear your family apart if you want to stand for the right thing. And so a lot of people would just rather like, you know what I mean?
Absolutely
The
not.
way
Like that's
everybody was acting cool, I'm like, it can't be rape.
It was.
and I kept
family
thinking,
sexual
And
assault.
for his punishment, he was sent to Canada.
see,
Can
You
you
bad boy,
imagine?
go to
me,
Canada.
For me.
where the
Go to the
healthcare
good
is
news.
The
better.
land of
Where
rapists,
the
where
healthcare is
rapists are
Healthcare is
punished.
better.
No, but you guys, is
Uh,
Michael sick? Because what's happening? Why must he
I
find
think he
He
has been
likes little
pampered.
girls.
No,
I
the theme
think he
of
has been
perversion is also in the book,
It has
actually.
got
The
nothing to do
theme
with
of
Yes.
pampering. You are
the
just
theme of
sick.
perversion.
No, like he's bad. He's a terrible human who has been coddled, and so he doesn't have consequences for his actions.
No,
Because
so
there's a
lying
part
to
that says
adults is for them. That's you being bad. But sleeping with
my
children
No, but this
and
is his
Michael
your
was the
family.
own
This
baby
is
of
his
the
family.
family.
This is his
that's
niece.
sick. You're sick.
That's
It was
sickness.
terrible. So Michael was the
Does
baby
Selassie
of the
not have an
family
abortion?
and was
did.
not because of Michael.
Because
Mhm.
of Michael, yeah.
Because of Michael.
Oh.
And
Michael was
Akofa
the
did
baby of
that
the
in her
family. He was
face
known to
in
be
the
the
weirdest
reckless
way.
one. Because,
Oh
well,
my
at that part,
God,
Akofa
it
didn't know.
No, but no,
It
Akofa do
doesn't
it in
matter.
her face
It does not
towards the
matter.
end,
Yeah.
where you come to a house and we haven't seen this girl in years.
That's what Akofa did.
You
She's
come
so
to her
terrible.
house, the
Like,
first thing you can
honestly,
tell her is, and I know about your abortion. You be like, what the hell?
I was just like, so now anytime
A
my
terrible
sibling, like
person.
anytime they're being silly, I'm like, look at you being Akofa. Like every time my little brother, that's what we keep saying. Not you showing your inner
Akofa is an
Akofa.
entitled brat who did not change. Akofa,
She
and
really, really
I was
was.
She was a
hoping
flat
that
character.
Yeah.
I didn't like that she was raped, and that was I guess, the turning point, so that she could
How,
empathize with Lassie.
but
You
how
should be
did it
able
show
to
as a
empathize
turning
without
point?
having to relate.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The only
But how was
reason
that
why.
even,
Mhm.
how was that even a turning point? She didn't turn. Where did she
Because then
turn
they believed her. They would not have believed her.
to?
The only reason why she
Anyway.
rebonded with Selassie was because they'd gone through the same thing. But it was just like
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Mm,
those other
Just be a
you
good
should have
friend.
empathy regardless of
the
if you
entire
yeah.
time they were friends, she always looked down on Selassie. She always,
Yeah.
and that's how she was brought. She always thought she was better. And even the way that, and I love the author, the way that she would write certain ways to kind of, say, she'd be like, hey, me too, I have a boyfriend, but even I haven't slept with my boyfriend. Meaning, you know what I mean? Like those
What do you
kind
mean
of,
by even?
It was always
yeah.
Yeah.
And
subtle
so the
and
way
better
you
than
frame
you.
it, right? Like, oh, I had one, but we hadn't even gone to that level yet. So always kind of like,
Mhm.
I'm also having a boyfriend, but at least I'm not as bad as Selassie. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so
I liked how she wrote her to be very self-unaware, and she had no idea that
Yeah.
she was sitting in the kitchen, watching this girl cook. She thought they were talking, but
They were
the girl was
bonding.
working. I would have wanted her to think back and realize, okay, yeah, this is what was actually
Oh,
happening.
yeah. Mhm.
But she never had that
Hmm.
realization, which like
She never did.
ended the
but they
book
said
with
why.
terrible.
You see why? Did you read why? Towards the end, she's the taxi to Ho, and it said that she has this complicated love-hate relationship with her mother. And, seeing her mother, like she was true, like seeing the side of her mother, or like choosing to see this side of her mother would mean, having to see sort of all these other things and come to the realization that perhaps her mother wasn't a good person, that even her own actions weren't good. And so it even says in the book, because I literally just finished this, I have one chapter left. Can you imagine? The last chapter 16. Um, So that was kind of all part of it. And I think she took on her mother's sort of blind, like, yeah, the whole idea of we're both, even with the politician, we're blind and deaf. That whole, know what I mean? Like, we didn't see nothing, we didn't hear anything, like closing your eyes and pretending something didn't happen. Because again, really coming to terms with what happened means you have to face that you were complicit in some of these things. You
In
have
this, yeah.
like she knew what was happening with Jessie. She knew that
I don't think she was that self-aware, because even when she went to go and
I
they
feel like
served her food with
after
meat, like she's just not self-aware. They give you all of the meat in the soup, which is something they will do. Like, and you sit there and you eat the meat with all of the
So she
food.
should have said,
And then,
"Oh, give
like,
the meat to the children."
no, like share it. Everyone should have meat. And then they told her to go
No,
sleep
I
in the house
deserve
with
the
air
meat.
condition. And
That's I deserve.
like-
as for that part there, me myself would have gone because they
It's my right.
me too, but I'm not a character in the
Indoor
book
plumbing. I'm not staying here.
who
sometimes
is trying
But that's
to
a good point about the meat, you guys. You're feeling like if she was a more generous or kind-hearted person, that the thing
think
she
it
would have
was all
told
your
the
food
kids.
was
as
to
a
give
tool
everybody
to
some.
her
It's
growth.
okay. Don't give
least.
me too
Yes.
much. You know.
Yeah, because
Like I can't even
anyone
finish it.
and then everybody was running around trying to make you comfortable, and she was just sat there watching them
That's
run
true.
around to make her
Because in her
comfortable.
mind, she
Like
There
the
wasn't
older
like a
her,
move
her
to
father.
say,
well, she
"Oh,
hasn't
don't
grown.
worry."
She still thinks
It
she's
hasn't
the
grown.
bomb
She didn't
bottom,
grow. She
and
didn't grow.
everybody else should make their lives uncomfortable,
Yeah,
make her
yeah,
comfortable, even in the village, in their home.
Yeah.
yeah.
She went
It
without
was
gave her gifts, and she had to, like, she's just so self-centered.
She just rocked out.
honestly the only
And
good thing I
she's
feel like
not
she did in the
self-aware
book.
too.
Yeah. What's
The
her
only
reason?
good thing I feel like she did in the book was burn down Michael's house. God forgive me, but that's the one
No, even then, I
thing.
didn't like it.
Oh, and
I
give
thought
the
that was the
audio.
top
Give the
part.
audio
I didn't
to
No,
like
I
it.
didn't like
Selassie.
it. I didn't
I
like
didn't
it.
like
That
it.
was selfish.
But me, I liked it.
Because the whole family is benefiting from this house.
It's true.
Anyway,
It's
I didn't
They're
everyone's
think
taking
about
it
house.
it
from the
that
Look at the
people
way.
that
little
were
girl,
generous to her. That
the
Elizabeth child.
caretakers.
All of
Yeah,
that.
I didn't
Yeah.
even think about that part. I really just thought, hurt that Michael guy. Like he should come from his Canada and no, but you
He's in
see,
Canada. Don't you
my
understand? He's in
my
Canada.
thinking,
He doesn't
my
care about what
thinking
happens.
when
He
it
has
came
money.
to
He's got
that
a new
thing,
mansion.
He will still
my
build
thinking
another
when
when
it
he
came to
comes,
that was when
if he
he
stays
comes,
in
he's
the
going to
hotel,
touch these little kids. If
He
the
would.
kids are
burning
going to
down his
come to
house
the
is not
house
He
to
automatically
would.
come
He
going to
would.
and
change it.
Yeah,
he
he would.
would, Jesse, he would touch these kids. That was my
But when
thinking.
he comes
Like,
back,
We know
reduce
Elizabeth
this.
girl.
he can take the kids to the
Exactly.
hotel
The
or
only way
in the
to
family
punish
house.
him
It's
was
gonna
to
happen.
unalive him, to be fair.
Or to report him to the police. So that
Yes.
now
But it was
everybody
too
knows. So we're
late.
all
It was
looking
too
out.
late.
Yeah, expose him
Yeah.
or unalive him so that it's a
Expose him.
personal affliction. But to punish him
It had
by
been
taking
years.
away
Like,
from
would people
others, I don't
care?
think it's good enough. Yeah.
Would people,
People will
well,
still
that's the thing.
care.
Would
Like in the
people care?
family.
No, but the thing is, if you expose him, you'll find out that he's probably done it to other kids when he came.
It's
Exactly.
not his first time.
And they
This
all
might
be
be
quiet.
You would probably
around
find
him.
out that
Right.
Yeah.
it just takes that one person with the courage to actually expose him, and then we'll
Right.
find out, oh, so he's been doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are probably
And
people
that
who
would be
know
enough.
he's doing it. Like
Mhm.
within the family. They know he's doing
The people know,
but
yeah,
because
people
he
know for
gives
sure.
money, build
His
this
sisters.
mansion, elevates the family name, they don't want to bring him down.
Yeah, I
That
feel
is so
like
true.
a
So I
lot
think,
of
yeah,
that
burning his
behavior
house
is enabled.
is enabled. It made her feel
Yeah.
good, Akofa. And again, that's another selfish, like another way of her
I
being
felt it was very
selfish.
Yeah.
selfish. It was no
Selfish,
Wanted to
right.
That's
feel
what
good,
Akufa
but
did. The
Yeah.
but
selfishness.
she still refused to come out with Selassie to expose him.
Yes.
So she just wanted to
Yeah.
feel good, be an arsonist, do criminal damage,
Mm.
and then go back to America.
Go back to
And
America to
even the
what
fact
is the house called?
the fact that
The one
she
mansion.
Hazel
were
and
raped
Hoo.
by a man, and then your mother did not validate it, so you went on the spiral and stopped medicine. If you had enough empathy, not to belittle one tragedy over another. Selassie, as much as I didn't care for her, went through so much. She lost her mother as a child.
As
And
a
you guys know
child.
this. She lost her dad. She was violently separated from her brother, even though she didn't want to be separated from her brother. Her dad didn't want her, and all of you knew that her dad did not want her. She lost her grandmother, the only other person that cared for her. That's
about
just too
it.
much trauma for one child to go
One
through.
little
And she
girl.
handled
And if
it
she's
Yeah.
without burning
acting out
anybody's
in the
house.
house in today,
Right?
discipline her as your child and then move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's your child,
Yeah.
she has nobody
Yeah.
else.
But
But
they never treated her like their child. They
Yeah.
treated her like a
No.
maid.
Even when her
She
mother
was
was
never
alive, there
treated
was
exactly.
never
She was
no.
never treated like a child. That's for that part. They
And I
didn't see her
feel
that
like,
way.
and I feel like, well, I mean, a part of the themes was also friendship, but I also feel in some ways that Lucy was friends with Aunt Zornam because, you know, those kind of friendships where the friend, they like to be friends with you because they feel like they're better
Makes
than you,
them
they
feel
can help
better.
you. And you know
They'll
what I
feel
mean?
better about
It was that same
themselves.
vibe.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, oh, you know, these poor people, they don't know any better and this and this. Like the mother's friendship with Aunt Zornam wasn't, I don't think, a healthy friendship. It was mostly based on her wanting to make herself feel good, you know, by associating.
Meanwhile,
But
on
I
the
think
other
she
hand, I
loved
feel like
her. I think she loved
Honam
her.
really
You think
liked
she
her.
liked her?
Honam, like I feel like Honam liked her a lot. But like her, like Lucy was very much like, okay, this is one of the family members, like the family members who's not part of the family, so will not come and take away my husband's money or whatever. So maybe she's
Okay.
okay. Like she's not so bad. She's not as bad as the rest of the family. That's how it looked like to me. Like they were friends, but it was very. I thought Honam really liked her, but I
I
didn't
thought so,
think that.
yeah.
I don't think Lucy liked
That's what
Honam
I'm
that
saying was,
much.
but what do you think
Yeah.
Lucy's motivation for being friends with her was? Because she was safe, let's say. Like she wouldn't come for her
Her
riches.
husband's money, like, because it was clear that Honam did not care about
Yeah.
all those things. The only thing that was important to her was that Selassie go to a good school. She didn't care about all this so-called money that Lucy was so excited about, you know?
Right.
Yeah. But it
Okay.
goes to show how we expect the same of children. So in one classroom, let's say there are 30 children, we expect them all to excel in school. We expect them all to be soft-spoken and be well-behaved, but we don't put into consideration all the things that they had to navigate in life. Because you can't expect someone, a child like Selassie, to sit in a classroom and act beyond like biological differences in like how they learn and all that. There's also like her mother died. Everybody she ever cared about was basically gone. Like she's navigating all this, and you still expect her to be on the same academic level as what's her name,
Yeah,
who
you're so
has
right.
tutors and what, and is just sitting in her house. She doesn't even know how to
it
wash
is
dishes because
ridiculous,
her cousin is
ridiculous.
washing
No,
dishes.
Yeah.
no mental health concerns were raised about her
At
at all.
all.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
That's so
we don't
true.
we don't pay attention to those things, and that's wrong.
And it also, I guess it's also something to talk about how parents focus on educational performance in school. Because I heard a child
Yep.
psychologist this once that usually when kids are younger and some kids are excelling, they just get there first and
Mhm.
everything evens out in uni after uni. So when your
Yeah.
kid is performing as much as other kids are, it's fine, they'll get there. The other kids just got there first. Eventually, everybody else will catch up, and you realize these other kids are not geniuses.
They were just helped.
Yeah, we've seen that happen over and over and over again. Yeah, everybody finds their footing.
Mhm.
Everybody ends up fine.
If they are like
Yeah.
there are like biological distance, like there's people that are intellectually, you know, smart, emotionally smart. Like this other, like everybody finds we can't all be at the same level. So I think
Level.
the matter of nurturing what the child excels at and what their capacity is and what they're capable, and
Yeah.
everybody's good at something. And so finding that and kind of elevating it.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah.
also taking into consideration what is going on in their lives. I don't ever remember any teacher asking me, are things okay at home? I don't ever like I cannot even think of any teacher ever asking me something like that. But like that's
Yeah,
something
that's
that should
true.
be normalized. Like teachers should be asking their students, like, is everything okay? Like, let's say you did not do well on a math test. Like, is there something you want to
Yeah, are
talk
you
about?
okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we just assume that they go home and they go and play and they are not doing well. That's what it is, which is wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are the themes
Yeah.
you
Oh,
notice, Elise?
say again.
What are the themes did you notice?
I noticed a theme, you talked about it a little bit, but like female friendship betrayal. Like it's like one person thought that they were friends, and then one person did not think that they were friends. Like
Perspectives.
when Selassie came to Accra to visit Akofa, I was appalled by how Akofa was
When I
behaving. I mean,
tell you,
I don't
Akofa
like
is
Akofa at
self-centered.
all.
Like,
But like,
unbelievable.
how do you make somebody feel so terrible for wanting to hang out with you? Like I was,
Unbelievable.
Where? When?
you know,
When
they
when
went to
Selassie
they
came
went
to
to
The first
visit
they
time she
went to
came?
Papaye.
in Accra,
They went
and
to
even with her
Papaye, and
friends, it's so obvious that she doesn't fit in. So it's
It
fine if
was,
she's quiet.
yeah,
It's your job as a
yeah,
cousin or any friend
to
to,
involve
okay,
her.
what do
Yeah.
you think about this?
exactly,
And
What
to
do you
make your
think about
friends
this?
respect her. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
exactly.
Like you
You
kind
can't
of
Teach
set
her
expect
the
it from
friends
tone
where
to make
when you
you're
her
meet
from.
feel
She's
bad.
somebody.
family. She'll
Mhm.
always be family.
Yeah. When you
And the
bring
way
somebody
that they were
together,
talking
set the
about
tone.
Ho, they said Ho is a village, and so, Selassie was like,
Classes,
"What do
this is
you
where I
mean a
draw the line.
village?
He's like, it's a town.
Not
It's a
allowed to be
town."
there.
Good for you, Selassie.
It's
Defend
a
your
city.
town.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like
that
there's
Also,
probably
I think
there's been this discussion at some point. I don't
about
know.
like
I've
that
heard
Ho
that
is a
always a
Ho
village or
being
always
is.
a city
I
or
don't
something.
think so. I worked in Georgia for a while. Even Georgia, I don't think I would call a village. A it's not a city.
I've
It is
been
a
to Ho.
town, I
I only
think.
passed
And I
through
feel like
actually. Yeah.
Ho is
And I was
Ho is
pleasantly surprised.
comparable to, I don't know, Ho is comparable to all the other cities that we have. I don't think I would, maybe if you're talking about like all these things that were brought by expats that we have in Accra that we don't have in, because even in Kumasi, you won't find like things like that. Like I remember I was in like fourth year of medical school, and like we didn't have a cinema in Kumasi until I was in my fourth year. And so if someone's definition of a village is somewhere that doesn't have a cinema, they will call Kumasi a village. You know what I mean? Like I don't think
The
it's,
Kumasi
I
people will
think it
not have.
depends on, I know, right?
some of the,
You'll
well,
be hanged for this opinion.
Yeah, I don't think I wouldn't. Ho is certainly not a village. Yeah,
yeah.
It's such a nice
oh,
place with the mountains around.
it
I
is.
really liked it when I drove past.
It
Yeah.
is.
Never been. But with the female friendships too, like I don't know. So I felt some type of way when back like they were in the boarding school. Selassie, not Selassie, but Akofa scores the best in whatever her science class, and her so-called friends form a group, a study group without her. And then a few days later, they invite her to the group. Like, what would you kind of call that kind of dynamic where you have friends that like in many ways like they weren't really happy for her, you know what I mean, like
They're trying to compete with her.
they're competing, and okay, you guys can maybe speak to this, but I found the competition for grades and like placing first, like that was intense. Is that really true in some of these settings?
Yes.
I don't remember competing like this
I don't think
for grades.
competing. I don't think it's competing. Like you know that you want to get the best grades, but it's not
And also, if
contingent
there's
On
on
someone
each
whose
an
other.
grade comes
individual.
closer to yours, you're
Yeah.
always looking at them and thinking, my God, this what did you get? It happened.
Really?
That's true. It does happen.
Yeah.
It does
Okay.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
And in boarding
just
school,
among that,
that's all that's entertaining you, your grades.
yeah.
So
Me,
Yes.
personally, growing up, my dad always said, your competition is you. So if
Okay.
last
yeah.
year you were fourth and this year you're fifth, you failed.
You're
And if you
you've
were
done
fourth last year and this year you
exactly.
are third, you've improved.
That's
And that really
amazing.
took a burden off me from my childhood that I'm competing with
I
myself,
I think
improving
like
Okay.
for
every
me,
year.
the
That's
What
a
I
difference
different
heard
was
perspective.
that
That's a
had
was
different
the
nothing to
people
perspective.
getting
do.
first, do they have 2 heads? Why are you not
Either
getting
that.
first?
For
Because
me,
You
the
must
you
get
difference
went
was
out of
first.
the 10.
forget about positions, but we don't care. It's not position, it's
Oh, we used
your
to do
average.
position.
What we did, but my dad was very like what was important to him was what was your average? Because we were 13 in
Because
my
this
first school
he
that I
has
was
shan
in.
and you are
We were
first.
13. We were 13.
But my dad
Even
also,
if you are fifth, you're like halfway. So like I want to see your average. What was that
I
mark?
think if you have
That's
an
what he was.
educator as a
Yeah.
parent, that's what they do.
That
Because
It,
like
maybe
my
they look at
dad
the
yeah.
nuance, but for me, it's like,
hands
are
me
you first, second,
everything,
or third?
read all of my essays. I've
Yes.
told you this story before. He actually confronted the teacher for giving me high marks because this essay does not deserve high marks.
Oh my God. I would be mortified.
It's like I'm
Use the
passing for a
I
grade.
was
teacher's
embarrassed.
qualification.
Embarrassed. 2 essays. Like he
He's
walked to
actually
school with
passing a
me.
teacher's
Like,
degree.
what is this rubbish? Why is it
Oh
28
my
over 30? It
God.
should be 10 over
Yeah.
The,
20.
Oh,
the teachers will
wow.
never give you good grades.
No,
Like
but
they'll be
also
like, your
they're
father will come
measuring
here.
it against the other students in the class. Isn't that what do you call that kind of grading?
Maybe
Maybe
he does,
your
Like
essay isn't
like
that great compared
on
to
a
the other people.
curve.
It's really good.
True, maybe.
you know,
But
we had,
no,
I don't know
my
if
daughter
your
says
faculty had
my
this
daughter is
in
better than all of them.
So you're
but
marking
like
on a
VC
scale. It's called
courses.
marking on a scale. Yeah.
Did
And
you have
then
the option to take VC courses in school?
I did it because of medical school. I wanted to take swimming, but they
Right.
said
So we
medical
had the
school you
option
can't.
in our faculty. And
Mhm.
when I could, I'll take like 2 because it's an ECA. And then
It
he would tell me, do you think
is.
I don't know what you're doing? Because why are you getting A's here and not
And not
A's in
getting.
the law courses?
the electives.
I'm really
Yeah.
That's
smart when
so
I'm not being
funny.
forced.
Why are you getting A's in
Yeah.
festivals and drama and
I
whatever?
really
And then
wish I could
company
have
law,
I'm
you're
taken
getting
those
passionate.
B's
VC
and C's.
courses.
Then that's where your talent is, Jesse. You should have been in drama
I'm
class.
telling you,
You should have been
measured my
first.
talent,
You
history
should
and
probably easily
festivals.
go there.
I know.
And now look, you're on the path of, well, you were on a lawyer path.
Also, because most of these you didn't have to write an exam, so
Okay.
Yeah.
like swimming, tennis.
Like swimming, the exam was, can
Yeah.
you like swim a
Oh,
lap across? I was like, I need this A. Yeah, they
Right?
didn't let me do it.
it.
Or the theater arts, you had to get a role in some drama or something. You didn't have to.
Okay. Okay.
Easy
Those
A.
sound,
If you
Yeah.
had the
sound
chance
fun.
to do a VC course.
No, I thought
Yeah,
you
I
were
wish I
talking
had.
electives, which in my university you could do elective, but electives meant like I took like children's literature, for example, which was an easy
Mm,
elective for me because you know what
yeah.
I mean. So, but I wish
Yeah.
swimming and sports was part of it too, because
Girl, it was.
Oh,
Mm.
I took Ewe actually. I just remembered I took Ewe for one
oh,
of my electives. I took
Can
Ewe
you
and I played
speak it?
basketball, so that was an easy. I did an oral exam in Ewe myself, okay, and I passed. I got
Oh,
an A
you gave
many years
yourself an
ago.
A.
You're good with languages.
yeah, that's
Yeah, but I
true.
just need to be like, I just need to be reminded. It will come back.
Wait,
I
is Ewa
can
Yeah.
spelled with
pick
a
up what some
V?
people speak.
Is
I
Ewa spelled
think
with a
There's
V?
a
I think
W, but
that's
I think it might be
the
pronounced Eve.
Because I thought it was
Yeah, I think
Eve
it's
alphabet.
Ewe, Ewe, like the way they say it's like Ewe. It's not
Sound
W,
like
it's not V. It's like you're
yeah.
blowing, it's like you're blowing air sort of thing.
You need
Kind of
PC
like
here.
the
Yeah,
P in Aflao, the
I
F in
know.
Aflao.
Yeah,
yeah.
Aflao.
Yeah,
a
for some reason,
flow
the way
sort
she
of.
wrote the V wasn't it was a different, was a symbol, I thought. So I was wondering,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, it looks like a weird
Mm,
V-shaped thing.
right? Yeah,
yeah, because it's pronounced a little differently.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I feel like those were for the most part, I feel like we've covered all the themes.
Oh, and the big
No, there
one,
Um,
is one more.
in-laws,
Which
oh, there's one
one?
family.
more.
The per
The
Anyway,
big
yeah,
one.
right.
Yeah, how you think?
Okay, that's
I
one.
think it's a very common one in Ghana.
I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
So
In-laws and
maybe because
family.
of that, like yeah, kids will say I get along with my cousins from my mother's side. I don't get along with my cousins from my dad's
On
side.
my father's side.
Such a common thing. So
Oh,
the mothers would allow their kids to obviously grow up with their
play
mothers,
with.
sisters, and
Yeah.
brothers, kids, but try to keep them from their father's side.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I did not go through that.
Mhm.
My mother was both parents actually, my dad especially, very intentional about back to your roots. And he would say, if you don't
Yeah.
want
Yeah,
to be with us today,
same
no
for
school
me.
fees next time.
Mm-hmm.
This
Yeah.
threat
I
of school.
think
Another theme was the threat of school fees.
And
These people
listen,
will make you suffer. I'm like,
my
why?
dad is
Why?
as African as they can. You go to school and you'll pass. You get good grades.
but then it's
Yeah. No, but why is that? And yeah, I mean,
Because for him,
they're like,
I understand. For him, education is like the great equalizer. So if you don't
mm,
come from a family of
good
riches and money,
education.
you get an education, you're able to get a job.
You give yourself a
That's
fighting
a way
chance.
to get out of
Yeah.
poverty or get out of the village, whatever. So, I mean, I understand. If you're able to, if you have lots of money, your kids can afford to do arts and be painters but
Do
until
what
then,
they really want
doctor.
with their hearts.
Yes. Guaranteed salary.
I
And you see,
curate
the thing is that
museums.
doctors are not paid well. at all, like
Yeah.
especially in Ghana.
Right?
But the thing that they understand it, like it's a steady income that comes with some kind of influence. People respect you,
Benefit
and at least every
it's huge,
month
yeah.
you will get a certain amount of money. Because I remember going
And
to
you will
medical
not be
school, my dad,
unemployed. You can't be unemployed as a doctor.
exactly.
You always have a
I
job.
mean, now you can, but like before, it was very like it was so unusual. My dad told me if you want to get money, you go into pharmacy. If you're fine with you want to help people, what's medicine like. So like if you know going from the get-go that this is not a lucrative path, you're good. But a lot of them don't think about it's not they're not trying to build mansions, they're trying to have monthly salary. And that's the job security that came with being a doctor. So it was very
Yeah.
much
I never
everybody
got
had to
that,
be a
funny enough.
doctor.
Never got
Yeah.
that from my parents.
Yeah, like go and do
Yeah.
Ah.
Wait, are you here because your parents wanted you to be in medicine?
Absolutely not. No, my dad, so we're all such different things. My older sister is a lawyer. The second one is a graphic designer. Then there's me. My little sister is a fashion designer. My brother is my brother's an engineer. Everybody was very much, what do you want to do? Because one thing my parents hate is that you come and tell them it's because of you. Like something went wrong and then it's because of they really hate that thing. So like sometimes we are traveling somewhere and I'm like, oh, let's do this early, and then we don't do it, and then it becomes more expensive. And then I come back and I'm like, it's because of like they really don't like it. So they don't want a situation where you have regret and it's because of them. So do what you want to do. So yeah.
That's nice. That's nice. Also,
Yeah.
the other thing I wanted to point out was the African pop culture-ish. Two
What
things
is
that
that?
I
Loved it.
highlighted.
Loved it.
The first one, the reference to the fact that somebody had tied their hair like Nana Kuneju.
Nana Kunedu.
I was like, I get that reference. I know
It
what
made
she
me so
means.
happy.
Yeah.
I know. But Nana Kuneju immortalized in literature.
Yeah.
Because growing up, she was our first lady for a long time, wasn't she?
She really was.
So
Yes.
Yeah.
From when I was
Yes,
born,
not
from
by
the age
choice, but
one.
yes.
Yeah.
She said not by choice.
the minute they gave
Oh
us a choice, we
goodness.
took them out.
Yeah.
And they knew, which is why they didn't want to give us a choice. But
I
yeah,
mean,
so
they gave us
that
a
was
choice
cool.
twice. We still chose them.
True that.
Ish.
And then there's
Ish.
also a mention of Patience Ozoko. Did you guys catch that as well? When she says that the
Yeah.
aunties, I think Lucy's friends or something, they had learned to be humans from watching Patience Ozoko in Nollywood films. It's like, yeah,
I didn't
she's
get
no
that
longer
reference.
as big in Nollywood.
I don't know her. But how is she like?
Patient
You definitely
Ozoko
know her face.
If we
You know her
describe her, you
face.
will know her.
I don't know
She's a
her.
Yeah.
Like,
wicked
what did they
woman
mean by
in
that?
her
Like,
roles are go
she's
for
that
it.
wicked woman in
Wicked
all Nigerian
stepmother,
movies.
wicked
Do you
mother in
remember that
law is a
woman?
witch
But she's a great
directly.
woman in real life,
Witch.
apparently. So
In
it became
all
like a
the
pop
Nigerian
culture
movies, she's a
reference.
witch.
right.
Yeah, like you are as wicked as Patience Ozoko. Like
Right.
it's
Okay.
of a certain
She
generation.
will put poison in your food and taste it, and she'll be okay.
And you will
Show you
die.
it's okay. It's good.
She's the
Once she'll
original
say,
wicked stepmother.
Yeah.
original wicked
I-
stepmother.
I remember they tried to cast her in something where she was a good woman, and people were like, the
We didn't
movie's
buy
not
this.
working.
We don't buy it.
She's like
I
our
also
Chewa. If you know Chewa, she's like the Chewa for
yes,
Ghanaians.
yes.
Because Zoko is much
Yeah.
bigger.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just get
And
that.
also a picture, a reference to a picture where someone was wearing Three Sisters. Three Sisters is like a global
Twin
thing, but
sisters,
there was
the
a time
skirts,
where
yes.
Three Sisters was such a common
What,
skirt.
the socks?
Yes.
Oh, the
Sisters.
skirt.
The
Not the
skirt.
socks, the
Dress,
skirt.
yeah.
And then you stand in
heels.
front of your house by the tree or whatever, and then take a family photo. One of you is wearing Three Sisters.
Yes.
Naturally.
Yeah.
So I love that. Like it was given very 90s or I guess maybe 80s because Patience is a little older, but 80s early 90s
Yeah.
Yeah.
growing
Because
up in
that's
Ghana.
the storyline, right? They were born in
Yeah.
85, so from 85
She got
to
that right.
guess
That's
present
true.
day. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Peace is an excellent writer, to be honest.
And even in
Like,
terms of the writing, she wrote the dialogue. Because when I was reading the dialogue, I'm like, this is how Ghanaians speak.
exactly.
The dialogue is so Ghanaian. At some
Yeah.
point, the prose was throwing me off a little bit. I'm like, but the dialogue was spot on. I'm like,
Yeah.
so is it me you're saying this too? Like, just like that. She didn't filter anything.
Yeah.
those
Especially those
inflections.
secondary school parts, those secondary school girls and the way they were
Yeah.
talking. Yeah. Okay. All right. So now I think once we talk about your thoughts on the writing, we can do our rating system. Yeah. What are your thoughts on the writing?
Before we move on, I just saw something I highlighted based on this. To buy
Let's see.
chichenga, Robert said, showing Sister Promise the 2 sticks of chichenga wrapped in grease-stained
Oh,
paper that were left over from
Chichenga.
what earlier in the evening. It made me want to eat chichenga so bad.
Yeah.
oh.
Like the food wanted me to really eat Ghanaian food because I think there was a
Yeah.
lot of mention about food
Of
and what
food.
people were eating and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Ghanaian culture for you.
Yeah.
This
Many of the
Lebanese
questions
son.
made me chew my pen top. What's more Ghanaian than this?
Sure, you're pent up. And we all know immediately that it means the question is hard,
Yeah.
Yeah.
without question. And I love that. It's so
Yeah.
evocative, you know.
Like somebody will have to ask you, oh, as I read this book and I saw this, what are your thoughts? Like it's no longer us asking people what does this thing mean? You know,
Yeah,
it's like,
we are
yeah,
putting ourselves in the story. I really like that.
exactly. Yeah.
And how they refer to, I don't know if they still do it, but when you're beautiful, they call you Miss Ghana.
Yes,
Oh my
And
God.
that was that's a good
so when
one.
the minister was like, how dare you? My wife is former Miss Ghana. I'm like, an actual Miss Ghana,
Oh,
or
she's probably Miss Ghana.
metaphorical Miss Ghana.
Yeah, no, I like
Oh,
that.
yeah. Okay.
She did well.
All
She
right.
did well with that.
Did well.
She didn't edit that out.
Yeah.
It was,
Also,
yeah.
I kind of liked the ending of this book. I mean, the arson was terrible and all that, but I felt like we knew that Selassie had a plan to expose Michael. Like her husband had said she doesn't need to like they were no longer fighting about her need to apologize to that idiot politician, and like that guy had been outed or something like that. I feel like this book had a much better ending than her previous book. I wish I wish we had really gotten her here because I had questions about the ending of her first book. But like I
Really.
like the ending of this book. Yeah. I thought the
I
ending was
found the
pretty good.
politician story quite tedious, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, this side quest is like going on for
Yeah,
pages."
that second book. The second book wasn't as, it wasn't as situated in kind of the whole story.
I think she was trying to show that the rape sort of affected Selassie in a way that she would stand up for you no matter what. I think she could have demonstrated that in half a paragraph. We didn't have to go on this side quest of a minister. It was just too
No,
much.
but I
lot
thought it
of
was
telling,
very
like driving the
real.
point in that this is who Selassie is and this is what is happening. Like,
but did you guys
No,
agree
but
with
I
I
Selassie?
get the
thought
point.
You guys agree
I
with
thought
Selassie and the way she was moving in that particular
No,
situation? I didn't.
Oh yeah,
not quite.
with
I
the politician.
Yeah,
He,
with
Yes.
what
see, that's
happened?
the thing.
Yeah, go on.
He's a man that has clearly gotten away with bad behavior for so long and has been
Yes.
protected by the system. And I feel like
like Michael.
you won't find people like Michael. You won't find people often putting their lives on the line to dismantle a system with no support. I thought that was a very scary thing that Selassie was doing, but I think
But it
that it
was
had to be
great.
done. She
Yeah.
wouldn't have succeeded without that audio from from
My
her friend.
yeah.
She wouldn't have succeeded. So
My
she would have ended up
thinking
destroying
was
herself. So it just ended up well for her. And I think there should have been a point where she stopped. She went too far, considering she
you
didn't have
see,
any backing.
Yeah,
my only
and she went
thinking
on
is
live. I
why
was
did
upset.
she
Yes. Why was she what?
I feel like if she had just told her husband, this is the reason why I am not going to apologize, it would have saved us half two
But
But the
the fact
thousands.
that
husband
she
should
had
have
been
known
raped.
better. Like if
You
the
think
husband should have
no?
known better. The
I
apology
don't think
part,
so.
even if Selassie was never
Do you
raped,
think if she had said because
he
I've
should
been
still
raped, like
not
the
have
husband will get
apologized.
it?
If Selassie
No,
had never
because I
I
feel
think
like
the
there are
only
people.
reason
sort
he
of
was
trauma.
saying that was that's the only way for it to stop. The man would not have stopped until
It's
he
not
had
going to
lost
stop.
credibility.
No.
No, as for
Yeah,
that man, he
he wants
wasn't.
to
This was
humiliate her.
exactly.
So
And I feel like her husband was only upset about the whole situation because he didn't get why she was destroying her life just so for this man who's not going to stop. Do you get
And
it?
also, no, it
He
wasn't
didn't
just
get
her
it.
life, it was his too. And that was where I was
Exactly. It
It
was
was
that
his
she
affecting
job.
went on
him.
national TV exposing him. I'm like,
Yeah.
come on broad TV and be airing your own problems. You've been hired to do a
Honestly,
job.
I felt like if he had
I kept
known,
thinking, do
it
you
would
not
have
have
made a
CCTV
difference in the
in your
way.
premises? Did
In
you
the place,
did you
yeah.
not capture something? At a rich woman like you?
You mean when the incident
How
happened?
Yeah.
many
There
chop
have been a
bars
better
have
I mean, they put cameras
CCTV?
after. They
Hey,
put cameras
chop
after.
bar. Salasi does not have a chop bar. She has a restaurant. A
I'm
grill.
sorry, ma. Sorry,
A
ma.
full
What
grill.
did you call it? Something grills.
Um, I don't know. I
Yeah.
thought she was very reckless, and I maybe I guess trying to understand the way she was moving because it reminded her gave her PTSD from her past experience.
Mhm.
Some guy had injured her and got away with it, and she was never able to do
Exactly.
anything about
I
it.
feel like
But she was moving
just
very reckless.
saying that,
It was a bit
her
reckless.
husband
And Adwoa was saying
would
she could have
have,
sold their whole lives, everything they have built, because
yes.
like he is a politician, he has polls. And so
Mhm.
she could have literally fired the husband, made sure he never found another job in government. She could have lost her restaurant. You know what I mean? Like all for
She could
I
have
also
lost her
felt like,
marriage, lost her kids. Like it
yeah,
would have been messy,
like I feel
honestly.
I like getting
And it's
back
really
at things,
annoying
but I
that
always
one
feel
man has
like
the power to do
you
this.
could do it insidiously. You can do it. You'd be like, okay, I've noted your wickedness. I will get you. And then you get
There should
them.
have been a
Destroying
systematic plan.
yourself.
She was just like
Mhm.
burn it
Now,
all.
that's where I
Yeah.
don't like how this ended. I don't like that there was an audio. I think that it was a cop-out by
Cop-out.
Pete.
I
I
liked
think
it too.
this is reflective of society.
Mhm.
Sometimes things don't go your way, and you have to accept that maybe something small to move the conversation, but then magically it was giving very much Nigerian movie or whatever. Magically
Please.
something happens,
The
and
lassie
then
had been
get the
through
evidence to pull
enough.
him down. It
The
doesn't
lassie
really
had
happen in
been
real
through
life.
enough.
Like we should have.
This was the
I think
universe giving her something.
I would have appreciated some like internal dialogue or something of her coming to terms that yes, like things are getting better now. Now there's social media, you can be shamed. And eventually talking about it,
You're
or
asking
maybe
for
This was
talking
on
about
reality, not
it,
TV.
in
and then
fiction.
eventually everybody
I
else starts talking about because that's the only way that someone will be
I don't want
fired.
reality in my
Is
fiction.
if multiple
Please end it
people
for me.
start
Happy
to
ever
talk
after.
about it.
Thank you. She was on TV
But
talking
to have
about it. The
something
man was
totally
You're not
still.
allowed to.
unrelated
That
bring
is
the
not your
man
personal
down.
platform to come and air your grievances. I beg
I
you.
get that. But my point is that it didn't cause
Got
anybody to talk. It didn't cause anybody to talk. It just caused her to
No,
lose that
I'm
big.
just giving an alternate ending. So okay,
Oh, I see.
he's harass this girl. Some shop attendants can also say, or shop owner can say, well, my attendant also said he had
so
harassed
like
this.
our own
And then a
me too.
conversation is
Me
begun.
too.
And then
In
I
Ghana,
don't
that
know,
would not
like
happen. No.
Me too,
it
but like
actually could
a chop
happen.
by edition.
My dear, I've been in hospitals, seen people who have actually raped people. It will not happen. They
No,
will
because
protect the
nobody's
person that
saying,
did
but
that.
in the age of social media, do you think that if all of a sudden, especially now under this government, the multiple women are complaining and there's evidence that
You
this,
see,
I
we
guess,
need someone
minister is,
like
I think something
we
will
need
happen.
someone
People
who
are
doesn't get
dismissed for
someone. We
less.
need someone like Amma Berland. Honestly, like people who don't care what's like they
Yeah,
will
so
stand
someone
for
like
it
that could, like
without
influencers
caring.
can take it up.
But
But
that's
I
what
just
Selassie
felt
was
like the
doing.
ending was a little bit of a cop-out. Like something else had to come. It doesn't solve the problem. Like the problem is still there.
Yeah.
It doesn't solve
Yeah,
the
I
Also,
get what
I
you're
think
saying.
that ending
Yeah,
was
because especially
used
because the
because
audio
there was
wasn't
no
about
real,
his
yeah,
bad behavior. He just got beaten the
Yeah.
president.
yeah.
He wasn't punished
So
for being a
then
bad guy. He was
you
punished for
can
not being a
muse
loyal
on like,
soldier.
yeah, there's still a
Exactly.
problem, but at least like there's a little bit of progress being made in terms of people
Yeah.
believing women and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
think I would
also
have
it's a
preferred an
cop-out in
ending.
giving the two, like this entire book is just revolves around conflict and tension around two cousins. And this fuels their entire lives, you know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
just don't feel we got enough of a resolution of that at the end. Are you
Of
saying
their
that with
relationship,
every,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't
every
think
backstabbing move?
it's going to be I
No, but
don't
it
think it's going to
feels
be
like
resolved.
no, but no
No, but
resolution.
it could
Feels
have been,
like they,
it could have ended with like, okay, like there's a path forward. There's still
Down the
conversations
path.
to be had.
With the
Things to
cousins,
be,
of
no,
course,
but the
they're
yeah.
thing is,
so
no, now it seems like
incorrigible.
the
There's
cousins
no
are cool.
way.
No, Elise, it
So
ended as
exactly.
if
So
the
Akopa
cousins
did
are
not grow.
cool.
So the character should have grown. with the story. She
I
didn't
think
really
the
grow with
ending
the
is
story.
showing
But
that the cousins are now
in real
close.
life, people don't grow. I
But
don't
they are
think it
not
was showing that
really.
they
Yes,
are
because
cruel. They were
was it
cool.
Selassie?
He said
Or
they
who
will
was it?
talk now.
Now saying, "Oh, I'll introduce. I was you. What's the Black American friend's name?
Ayoko
Ayoko.
to Selassie, but
Oh,
they are
I'll
alike.
introduce."
Me, I didn't believe her. Honestly, like, it was very much like this is her saying something so she can leave this place. I didn't believe her, at least. It sounded very much like she'll go back, everything will just go back to normal. I don't think it's like, it sounded to me like, okay, these people are just going to go back to their old patterns and that's it. None of them changed.
You don't
I
think
didn't see
there's a
any
resolution? I
change.
feel like okay,
I
No.
maybe
doubt it.
yeah.
They didn't change.
And
I
I
think
thought that
I would have
reflected
loved it if
real
she made that
life
change.
where no,
Yeah.
I think it
I was
reflected real
looking,
life where it's like these people are like they still have the hurts from when they were younger, and it's not going to go away without them having like a deep reflection on it, both personally and then together. I don't think that's going to happen, and that rarely happens in these kind of dynamics. Like,
That's what I
yeah.
thought I
no,
was seeing
but
in
because
the
I
after
read
with the
this
team
on the
of Black
Kindle, I saw that it was I saw the chapters. I saw Akofa, Selassie, and then
Yes.
Akofa and Selassie.
Yeah.
I was expecting, this is what I was expecting, that Akofa and Selassie, they were going to have difficult conversations and be on a path to resolution.
Yeah.
Akofa will reflect and say, wow, like it's crazy that I saw things from a
Kofa.
completely different lens and like, you know, and actually acknowledge Selassie's head. And Selassie also acknowledged her
Yeah.
partner's. And just for
Yeah.
holding on to things, she can hold on to things for, my goodness. At some point, I'm
I
like,
That would require
know.
answer
Akofa being an
the damn
adult.
call. What is wrong with you?
Exactly. And Akofa
That would
was not
require Akofa being
I
an
feel
adult.
like yeah, both of them were not great. Akofa was worse, and I didn't see how that would change. Unless maybe they
But I
were
think
living
you
in
see, when you're
But that's why
proximity and
it's
they're
sisters,
fiction.
when you're
Like,
cousins and you're
you
sisters,
think it's
you kind
real
of
in
forgive
real life, it
each
makes it
other,
different.
isn't it?
I think so.
I feel like the
Who do
pain
you
was hitting
think
people. Maybe not. I
who
don't know.
do
I
you
feel like this
who
isn't
do you
pain
think
that they can
these
get over
cousins
without an
are?
actual conversation. Like a
Yeah, same. I
First of
agree
all,
with you. Who
you
do you think
have to
these
take accountability on both sides because I feel like they can never even because yeah, you know what? There won't be a resolution because unless
yeah.
Kofa is able to say, you know what, I did wrong. I saw what your mother was doing. I just didn't want to, or for me, because it didn't affect me directly, I was okay with it. Like
I was
I've seen some of these
exactly.
things, you know what I mean? And Selassie
It
also
needs all
said, I
that.
should have maybe spoken to you about it. I shouldn't have been ABCD. But
I
Yeah.
think they can just move on. Like assuming, let's assume they never have this conversation, but now there are two adults who have kids, so they start hanging out together. Let's just go to the market together and buy things. Yeah, I
There'll
have
be
my
some
restaurant. We
level
come
of
and sit there and
mistrust.
we discuss happenings today. No more thinking about the past. Our kids play together.
There'll
But that
be
will
some
come
you
in a
level
phase.
of
always
But when the
reminisce
kids play
and you
together,
see things
exactly.
differently
They'll
that, yeah, you are
exactly.
friends.
so
You
okay, our
always
kids
talk
will
about
play
the
together.
past.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And
Especially from when you
when
were
it's,
children, you remember how they
you
treated
remember
you. Be like,
things. And when
her
you
children
Yeah.
will treat my
remember it
kids.
differently. She
Yeah.
remembers it differently.
Yeah,
So
and
you
if
have
maybe
to have the
our
accountable
first child
conversation.
says something triggering to Selassie's child, Selassie be like, that's what your mother
Meanwhile,
also
they were
said to
just
me.
playing. Hey,
yeah,
yeah,
back at
like
it.
things like that. And
Yeah.
That's true.
Did you
Okay,
see
I
the
think
way
that
Both
works.
Akofa
characters did
was
not grow.
with her kids? Did you see the way she was like her husband should make sure he's watching the children like when they're at their grandfather's place.
Yeah.
He
Yeah, she
shouldn't
was
That's
raised.
leave them with
It's
yeah.
not
their
her fault. She
like
was raised by family.
I agree. I mean
People need
I
therapy.
didn't blame
All
her
these
then.
characters
yes.
need
I'd probably
therapy.
do the same. I'd probably
Let me
do
tell
the
you,
same
this
thing.
this
Yeah,
whole
without
story
trauma, I
is
won't think about it.
and this whole
Better to be
story would have
overprotective
been
than,
fixed
yeah.
if Akofa's mother had therapy. Like if
She
she
had
had
just gone to
therapy,
therapy.
her children.
Generational.
This
See,
is
this
a
is generational
generational.
trauma.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
you
really
guys, this is
is.
exactly.
I listened to something called Daddy Issues, and then this he was talking about how people think Daddy Issues is like this huge thing and whatever, like the traditional view of Daddy Issues, and everybody has Daddy Issues and Mommy Issues. When you're sitting in the car with your parents and you're having conversations and being so judgmental, you also grow up being
You
judgmental, and
pick
I
it up.
saw it so
Yeah,
much with
you
Papa.
listen. Yeah,
You listen and you pick up these things because kids are very perceptible and they're very smart. The way you talk about people, the way you talk about uncle this or this friend or whatever, they pick these things up
Oh,
and they
yeah.
start to talk about their friends the same way. They start to talk about family and start to see family the same way.
Differently. Yeah.
So we have to be very careful
And I like the
when we see
Yeah.
point
our
that you just
kids.
made, Jessie, about, I feel like, and I know what you're trying to wrap us up at least, but I think a lot of people talk about daddy issues, especially when it comes to women, but not enough about mommy issues. Because I think Akofa's issue was not a daddy issue, it was a mommy issue. It was a toxic mother wound that she had. And her mother
Yeah.
probably had that from her mother. And so that trauma
Yeah.
is traveling through the female mother to mother to mother to daughter to etc. And not so much like, you know, because women, especially, it's always with daddy issues, the daddy was this and that. But women can be very
It
toxic
was
towards
great.
their children, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you see, some of that could have been stopped if Akofa grew up hearing her dad say, "We don't talk about family like that. So I don't appreciate you talking to my family like that." And that would have shifted her perspective. That honestly, that's part of why I didn't like
I agree.
Yeah,
Uncle Yao. Like,
Uncle Yao
just
has his
certain
issues for
Uncle
sure.
Yao,
certain
just a
words, like
peacemaker.
sentences would have made a difference. Like, and I read something recently about confrontation. People think that confrontation is a bad. As a non-confrontational person, it really like touched me because not like deciding. Some people think that not being confrontational is maturity, but it's not. Conversations need to be had.
No.
Like certain things need to be said, or else you just internalize things and then they don't go away. And that's what happened. And you perpetuate trauma. Basically, that's what this one did. He
Go to
perpetuated family
therapy,
trauma
honestly.
down
Yeah.
to
That's so
now
true.
his grandchildren. Yeah.
I think confrontation
Just have
opens
a
up to
conversation.
honesty, you know, and so you break
Exactly.
down perceptions, you fight, and if you all want to get to a good place, you rebuild, but on a different
Mhm.
foundation. You know what I mean?
You know,
Yeah.
an alternate
Oh.
ending for Kofa to show growth as I'm thinking about this.
Okay, you
Realizing
really
What
want
is
to
it? She said,
her
"Kofa must
mother,
grow."
her mother was, you know, I love
Peace.
my mother so much, even refusing to take off their rose-colored glasses and then see the red flags in Auntie Lucy for what they really are. She could have said, okay, I'm giving the mother an out and said, your mother went through like crazy things and pass her down to you. So I don't pass my rape issues to you guys. I'll have to go to therapy. So I let go of control issues and Akofa.
Kofa's
Freaking
children, I
Akofa.
don't know. Like, I want to read about
Hazel and
what's going to
what's
go with
the other
to
them.
one?
her children what her mom did to her, unfortunately. A lot of pressure to
Give us
Yeah.
something.
She's going to pour her dreams into them. Because she didn't get to
Exactly. They
become
will
a
be
neurosurgeon.
doctors.
One of them has to become a neurosurgeon. It's bad. But guys,
At least she
before
doesn't have
Yeah.
siblings herself.
one
to
character we didn't talk about is
say them.
the Black American. What did we think about her? I keep forgetting her name.
Ayoko.
Ayoko.
Ayoko. Thank
Yoko.
you.
Yeah, that's
She's
one that I
not
was
the
saying
Let's
I
Black
chat a little bit
forgot.
about her.
American.
What's up? Like,
She's
what do
cute.
you see a little bit?
Like her.
Okay, she's okay. No, I was gonna say she's never come to Ghana. No, she visits Ghana, but really she's more American than she is Ghanaian. So
But
what is with
that's
her?
what do we mean by
I
she's more
have,
American
you
than she
know,
is
I
Ghanaian?
went for,
I mean, I just mean
speaking
that
of
she's
Black Americans who think Ghana is, or Africa is this land of magic and healing and whatever. And I know
Let me tell
everybody.
you, is it
Please
not?
touch the
So
soil.
in
Heal it.
2020, when this whole thing was happening, Dirty December,
Mhm.
and Dave Chappelle was in Ghana. I went for his show,
Mhm.
and it was a very small show. We didn't even know he was going to come. And then this woman says, she's American, obviously. She starts talking about how she's felt like immediately she landed, she felt like the healing was all around her. And just talking about Ghana. And I was just sitting there with my friend thinking, my goodness, like whatever fantasies you have in your head of Africa, you'll be disappointed. It's like me thinking America is this land of honey and milk and like it's not
the
realistic.
same way. It's the same
It's
thing, but the other
you'll be
direction.
jaded when you come. You've moved from airport to some hotel and to a conference center with AC, and you think it's a land of healing. It could be in
From
some
her
aspects.
perspective,
I guess
yes.
seeing Black people
Exactly
is
from her
I
perspective.
Is
I
enough
don't have
healing.
worries these people have.
Yes.
I think I'm the main character because everybody looks like me. I have never experienced any form of microaggression. I would not even know what that is if it kicked me. Because I actually think I am a main character.
You'll know it when you see it.
Maybe unless they're being I don't know, like overtly racist to me, I'll be
Yeah.
very confused. Like if I
So
walk into a shop, someone is
no,
following
Jessie's
me around,
right.
I'll
Because
think
I
you're being
think
nice and you want to hold my
having
basket. I'll probably give you the basket to hold and follow me because that's what I'm
and
used to
you
in
see what
Yeah.
they'll do.
You're
Ghana. Like
thinking
Because
that,
having
oh,
my
they're
grown
gonna
up
brain
in
follow
doesn't
you.
process being inferior to some or feeling that kind of feeling because
So that's
I
why
live in
they
Ghana.
see it as the land of what, milk and honey. And I would too if do you get what I'm saying? I feel like so I right now I don't have an opinion about them. My only
Come and
issue is
live here
going and
and
inflating
then
and
struggle with
inflating prices. That's my only issues. Going home
electricity
and inflating
problems.
prices.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure there are people who will take electricity problems over some of the problems they have over here. So honestly, some of them,
I
but some of
just
them,
I
that really
just
is it.
think
I,
that
I agree with you that there are some of them who
yeah,
I don't
this is not
understand.
Wakanda. Like Wakanda is a made up fictional place.
Wakanda forever.
If somebody is being shot just for being black, I feel like not
I mean,
having life for 1 week,
I always choose to live here over anywhere else.
not having
That's
life for 1 week is
honestly,
okay if
but
the alternative is to get shot.
I don't know.
So I guess it depends. Like,
Yeah.
and also people have different experiences based on where they live and all of that.
Yeah, and when they've grown up.
Exactly. Some of them have had it really hard. And so no matter what you are considering a challenge in Ghana, they really see it as nobody's looking at me funny. And so I can really just live my best life. You know, so
And that's the thing though. I saw I think when I see it again, hopefully because you're always listening, I see it on Instagram. But I saw
You will
this
see it
video
in the next 10 minutes when we hang
and
up.
I'll send it to you guys of this woman who is American because they're settling here now and they were given citizenship under the old government. I thought that was great. I think anybody who wants African citizenship should get it for free.
because really they were taken
And
from
she's been here for a bit and she's so jaded now. She's talking about because you leave Accra, you move outside of Accra, or even the nice parts of Accra, and you see people like we don't have access to clean water. We don't have access to not all of us, some places, just like every other part of the world.
exactly. I was
Yeah,
gonna say, just like
you don't
America.
have access to all of these things that perhaps you grew up in a city and these are things that are not, you don't face. You go to the hospital and there are no beds. And she was complaining bitterly and I scrolled after a few minutes because I'm like, you chose to come here.
Ghana has
If you
happened to her.
go back home.
But
It's
everywhere
fine.
will have its issues. That's my thing. There's nowhere that is utopia. Nowhere. And the places that are utopia, it's usually utopia for white people. As a black person, if you go there, it will not be utopia for you because you'll be treated differently.
Indeed.
You know? So I feel like people will rant about the things that they're uncomfortable with, and that's okay. It doesn't change the fact that it's home. For us, it's home, you know? It won't like and
Yeah, but
us.
it also
has
makes things a little
things
bit
that we don't
difficult
like.
for, again, I'm not trying to gatekeep or whatever. Because when people go to places
Girl
like
boss, gatekeep, gaslight.
and right, the people living there, people actually live there. There are indigents
Where?
who wake up and bring you your food in your nice hotel. When you
Like
take
a
the photos, like the
physical-
people are busting their ass just so you have a cute photo on Instagram. It's the same in Accra and it's the same in Ghana. You come and make prices ridiculously expensive
That's my
because
issue.
of the
Honestly, that's my
exchange
issue
rates.
with them.
And then you think this is like a magical place. No, we have to wake up and then go to work.
Yeah.
And then
Somebody has to
bye.
leave a pixie dust in the back.
And then
But
when you leave, we still have to go to the
Reappear
same
there.
clubs, the same brunch places, the same beach
but the
clubs,
December
She's at
prices
home.
are
hotels.
usually lower.
But
I mean
now
higher. What
these
am I
vendors
saying?
think that they've got a few Black American guests so they can increase prices.
I thought they increased prices for December and then after that is like the prices go back to normal. Well,
If
there
they
are
did
places
that
that
and
do
they say,
that.
show
There are
your
places
Ghana
that
card
do
for the
that.
Ghanaian price, I'd be happy.
Jessie, that's so funny.
Daniel price.
So now December I go nowhere because like I'll
But
finish
they
my
did that. They did that at what was it? When you go to some of these like sites, Kwame Nkrumah, whatever, they say the good
Yeah.
prices
Yes,
are
those
full
places
price.
they do that.
They
Yeah,
are.
But
yeah, that's
honestly,
true. You have a
they do that everywhere, no?
Yeah, they do
Oh,
that
That's in
everywhere.
Canada, they don't have a Canadian
not
price, a
restaurants.
foreign price. It's one price.
For
No,
like, they do for
sites,
states. Don't they do that for states? Like here in the
For
US,
like
I've been
heritage
where,
sites.
like that
No,
heritage
places
there's
sites
where you
no
and
can go to,
museums and
nationality-based
things.
pricing. There'll be age-based pricing, perhaps.
and there's no state-based, because in the US there are state-based things.
There's
There
still,
are places you can go
no.
to for free if
Oh,
you
okay.
have like maybe your number plate is from this state,
I
but
see,
as
I
an
see.
out-of-state person, you pay
Gotta
X
pay more.
amount. Yeah.
That's
So I
fair.
feel like
I think
But their
that's fair.
taxes is what's making
And
the
you can
place
always
nice.
get away
so
with
they're
it if you're
paying
black.
taxes.
They'll not check your passport or card. If you're black
If
and you
you're
tell
black
them
and you
you're
don't
just
talk,
hand them
if you're black
the
and you
Ghanaian
don't
You don't
price,
talk,
cook.
they'll take it.
as soon
You
as you
know,
talk,
even
they
if you're
catch
Ghanaian and you
you.
open your mouth, you have my accent, they're like, they're still finding
Then
ways.
you have to
Like,
prove,
here's
so
my
you show
card,
them
here's my
your card.
passport.
Yeah, this is my name. So
Yeah.
Even my name, they might be like, it's not, is it a
Oh, but
con?
have we discussed Ayoko? I feel like we've
Yeah,
gone
we did
on,
it. We've
but
been,
have
the
we
one we're
discussed
discussing,
Ayoko?
The one that we're basically talking
she's
about.
Yeah, but
gone on a
we
tangent.
went on a
Exactly.
discussion. Nana Josh was your favorite character. Tell us why.
I like that. So I guess she and I are similar in that way. Like I'm very much like national pride. Name your children Ghanaian names. Teach them to speak your language. Eat your food at home. Like all those things are important to me. So I like that Ayoko was championing those things. I think she was kind of beating Akofa over the head with it a little bit. Whereas like, but then she has lived in America her whole life because I think her mom or her dad is African American and one of her parents is Ghanaian. But she's like held on to the Ghanaian part. But being an African American, or of course, this is not my experience and I cannot speak to it personally. But my observation is that there's a lot of African Americans feel that they need to work extra hard for any of the things that they get. And I think it kind of fosters this feeling of we are the other and things like that while they live in the US. And then to be an African on top of that, she felt like she was the authority when it comes to being a black person in America with her and Akofa. And Akofa was just like, if you just do the right thing, if you follow the instructions. So Akofa, the person that would say, if the police arrest you, don't fight, don't argue, just go. But Ayoko knows that it doesn't matter whether I argue or not, I can still get killed. And so like she was banging her head against the wall, trying to explain to Akofa that you cannot be a good little black girl for them. It does not matter. And I think I identified with like her frustration. And my suggestion to Ayoko was to just move home. And I think did she move home?
Yeah, she
He
planned
was
to.
good.
She
Oh,
said she
yeah.
wanted to move
Yeah.
home.
Plan to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seemed like she will just be she will thrive in Ghana based on how much
Yeah.
she lives as a
And I
Ghanaian while in the
I think
US
my only
anyway.
issue with her was that it's like it's like an issue happening in Kenya or even with the Palestinian, and me feeling more angry, more passionate about it than the people that are actually, do you know what? And I felt like for somebody who's
She's a
somewhat
freedom
of an
fighter.
outsider, she was too gung-ho about what was going on in the country and telling the people who've actually lived there and who are experienced, who are raised and, how to move and how to behave. So that's kind of the piece that I didn't like, is that she felt like she was a better Ghanaian than even the Ghanaians that were, because she was very much a Pan-Africanist and felt like fighting. And I feel like Ayoko had, because fighting isn't always going to get you, like fighting might get you killed and not the result. And so sometimes there are ways to massage the system to get by, to get to a place where you can have real influence or you can make real change. We can't all be up in arms. And so, you know what I mean? And so for her to not think that you're resisting against the system because you're not shouting and you're not up in arms and you're not ABCD was what put me off about her. And for me, what sort of the Black American Pan-Africanists or whatever tend to do a bit too much of is like they almost overdo the whole, where, like more than the Africans themselves, they want to prove that they are even more African. And so it comes off as a little
But their
bit
kentes and
disingenuous.
everything.
Yeah. Did you guys see the Instagram post recently about how everybody's now doing the sash, the Ghanaian graduation sash?
I
So
haven't seen that post, but everybody does it now.
Yeah, but it's just like,
and they don't use the actual kente; they use like a print of the kente or something.
yeah. But it's like Black Americans that want to show they've taken it over, almost taking meaning away from, the original source. This isn't an attempt to, get closer to what they feel like is missing, or perhaps what will make them complete, whether or not that's true. And I beg to differ when Adwoa says, what was it? Whatever.
Yeah,
Ayoko, whether she'll thrive in Ghana.
Ayoko.
Ayoko. Are your file?
I think whenever I read
because they're
and
so
watch videos
similar.
of what they go through, I think that we should open up, if they want to come home, they should have access to free, sort of like the right of return Israel has for all Jews, because that was also a traumatic thing that happened. I think we should have that. Every sub-Saharan African country, if a Black American wants to come home, they should be able to
Is
choose.
there space for them?
They will not.
That's the
We
thing.
know that
What do
they
you
will
mean by-
not.
when you
It's just
say
an
space, what do you
option.
mean?
We're giving you
We
the
have
option.
enough housing to house all the Black Americans who want to come.
What-
When
I mean,
They're
when-
all of them
Accra.
going to
Some of
come
them have to
home.
go to Bolga.
yes, but they
I'm
all
not
want to
paying
be in
for them to
Accra.
come. When
And
they
there are
come, they should
54
pay for
countries
when
in
they want
Africa.
to go.
Anyways,
Yes.
they can go
So,
anytime.
Africa is big. Africa can
Yeah,
house
it's true. You
all
can go
of the
anywhere.
Americans,
But do
and
we
there'll
have
be
the
more space.
resources? I mean, they'll bring their
Yes, we do.
resources
Exactly.
anyway.
Well,
They
learn
should
to
bring
use the
some.
resources properly.
They'll be like,
Because and another thing that, sorry, so many themes in this book.
A lot.
honestly.
Is the fact that
touched on a
we are
lot.
okay giving the West all of our resources, and then we sit here and complain that the West is doing better than us.
Mhm.
Because
did that happen?
not only are we giving them like the best of our human resources, Elise, we're giving them
Please come home.
shade collected.
and when these people, because we've seen Black people, Black women, is it The Hidden Picture, The Color Purple? I don't know what movie that is. I never watched
And
it.
shapes that we're talking about.
Hidden
Hidden
Figures.
figures, yes.
Is it the one where Black women wrote the code for the mission
Yeah.
to the
Mhm.
Yes, because Black people, and then apparently Thomas Edison, I saw this somewhere yesterday. I don't know how accurate it is. Don't come for me. His assistant was Black and helped with whatever it is he invented. So Black people are all part of these stories. Invention, they help people go to Mars, they help people go to the moon and build rovers to Mars, come up with new ways to perform surgery, research, all of these things. But you're not doing it. You go to someone else's country and you do that. And when the story is being told generations later, it's that the white people did this. And then we are written out of these stories. In this book, we saw that Auntie Lucy was willing to pay $30,000 a year to a school in Pittsburgh. And these schools make so much money from foreign students.
Absolutely.
And this is why they'll continue to be able to fund research. Because universities are where research happens. That's where you're able to fund research and things like that. So you're paying all of these huge sums of money to universities in the West, and then universities are underfunded. There's only so much the government can do. Even government-funded universities in the West are not doing as well as private universities, because at the end of the day, it's money that's needed to fund research. And it seems like we are always sending our money there, we are sending our resources there, and then we turn around and complain that things here are not working. I mean, obviously they're not working.
Just one scenario that makes me think that sometimes we are the problem. There's this African doctor over here that shipped equipment to Ghana for procedures. Equipment we don't have in hospitals.
Tell me about it. Customs.
Ghana. We don't have. Do you know what they said? They said that as you have sent us such equipment, please pay the duty. He said, I've sent you free equipment. Ministry, like, just come and collect. They said he should pay the duty. Okay. So he said, okay, goodbye, and sent it to Nigeria, who gladly collected and paid.
I heard the story. I heard the story.
Yeah, that was the point I wanted to make, Elise. I wanted to say,
and I will say,
I wanted to say that yes, you have.
It's not on the individual. I think every
individual
individual should make a decision that works for them. Like because you think about yourself first before you think about the bigger.
But this is something
no,
that
but
would help.
you're saying,
so, like, it's not a problem that
you're saying that they're inventors in the West and they've come, but those people learned those skills there. And if they had stayed home, they wouldn't have the resources, because we ourselves are not investing, for example, some of those to nurture that. So we have intelligent people and we don't have the tools to really extract that intelligence to reapply to our field. And so they go abroad and that's where they're able to extract that knowledge and then they end up staying. And so I think there is it's almost a two-way street or a cyclical issue where you can't solve one without the other. Unless there's space or something is done within the country to nurture and extract skills and put them to good use, you will always have a brain drain. Because if those people had stayed, they would not have become inventors. They would not have done this and that.
They could have been inventors.
The capacity. There's a lot of people.
I know so many
stories.
inventors.
Stories of little kids that are so intelligent. They make robots ABCD.
Sorry.
But people end up
And then
staying.
how are you going to scale
might
it?
not form the next AI because
I don't know. I don't have the answers,
I
guys.
agree with you. Like,
so yeah, let's not.
I think that
let's
this
not
is a conversation.
oversimplify the argument. And you know,
I think that we this whole issue of Africa is not just one country. Africa is 54 different countries. The woman that shipped it to Ghana and they said no, she sent it to Nigeria, they took it. You can send it to Cote d'Ivoire, Togo.
But
if
then
Ghana is
the person is a Ghanaian, no. The person that sent it is a
Kenya.
Ghanaian trying to better their country.
Yeah, but I would, as a Ghanaian, I would, maybe I should not air my my shoes on
Like, I'm not even trying
I feel connected to other sub-Saharan Africans than I will. Because when I go to Kenya, I don't feel othered. When I go to Nigeria, I will not feel othered. Do you get what I mean? So, and if I work to, because when I go there, they don't see me as a Ghanaian, they see me as an African, a Black African. It doesn't matter that
you don't remember Ghana must go a few years ago.
Nigeria, we have a peculiar history with them.
You don't remember Ghana must go a few years ago?
They don't know. They probably never heard of Ghana. So they just see me as a Black African. So I would want my fellow African country to do well. I don't know. I think that, the government should do better because sometimes...
I think that our people have not helped us in the long run. There's many things. Did I tell you the first time I had to change a car light? I was here. I was like, I don't do this in my father's house. I don't do this in Ghana. Like, somebody will see me and help me. What's up?
You change to yourself? Like, ghetto. Were there no men? Where are the men?
That day, I was just very upset.
You don't have the men because we have the men.
That's where all my anger was. Ghanaian politicians, because why am I sitting in somebody's land changing car lights?
I was going to Nanaja's house and something came out from my car. A man stopped me, went under my car, like fixed it.
A stranger.
Sent it on my merry way.
It's so unusual.
I love that in Ghana. I learned to drive in Ghana, and I would keep falling into gutters. The thing about Ghana, like you fall into a gutter, all of a sudden men appear out of nowhere. They'll pull you out. I can't
want to help you.
Properly. All of a sudden, somebody shows
up. How you change your car tire in Ghana? How to change your car tire in Ghana is just stand by the car and look helpless.
And hold the jack. You don't even you don't have a jack.
No, Indian men, or should I say African men? I don't know, but it's just
you're not even looking helpless. They're asking you if everything is fine.
Yeah, you don't feel alone. You feel very supported. Like they'll help.
Honestly, if we for a lot of us, if we had the choice and like the kind of training and the specialties that we wanted to do, and it was in Ghana, we would be there. Because
I have a friend who is a doctor. Funny enough. Anyway, I have a friend who's a doctor and he's in the US now. But when he was in Ghana, he was telling me that talking about wanting to leave or something like that and wanting to go specialize in something, but he claims he'll come back. So we'll find out. And so I said, what's happening? Why can't you learn here? Are the doctors there better? And I was like, actually, he thinks Ghanaian doctors are so much better than
absolutely
doctors. Having practiced in Ghana and having to do procedures that without the basic equipment and sometimes without electricity, like it makes you a better doctor. But it's just that some of the specialty areas or specialized areas or whatever you call it are not available here.
Yeah. we don't have what I do now, we don't have it in Ghana. Adolescent medicine is not a specialty in Ghana. And that's what I want to do. Things like that. And like I agree that for the most part, even I shouldn't say mediocre doctor, but like people, not mediocre, but like people who are
The average, maybe?
the average, like not even the average, maybe just a slightly below average doctor in Ghana has a certain level of a sense of suspicion when it comes to certain diseases that they don't have here, because they're good doctors. Don't get me wrong, and the good ones are great, but like they're so dependent on technology and like there's sometimes like when people are like, oh, everybody gets a CT scan. I'm like, they're just diagnosing things based on like there are places where you'll work in Ghana, you don't even X-ray, CT scan, it's not available. You have to work a lot of times with a strong sense of suspicion based on experience, based on symptoms, things like that.
Yeah.
And they don't really have that here.
The book condemns our medical system.
Someone I know,
Uncle Yao, our favorite, died on the floor in the hospital. Or where did he die?
That's not a condemnation of the medical system. That's a condemnation of our leaders. Doctors do not build hospital beds, do not provide hospital beds.
Because somebody as wealthy as Uncle Yao should not, you know what I mean? Because he also had the money. So this isn't like, okay, not to say poor people, but you know what I mean? Like, Uncle Yao has money. The hospital he went to must have been, you know, a private one or a high, no. So how is it that he doesn't, they don't have the medicine, that she has to go to 3 pharmacies to try and get the medicine? This is something whose life could have been saved if good action was taken immediately. So I think she made a commentary on medical system.
That's another frustration about the medical system. In the US, they'll treat you, you'll be in debt for the rest of your life, probably.
But they will at least give you medicine.
Maybe not die, you know? Like if you die, they really tried with all that they had, all the medicine, but you'll be in this the rest of your life. In Ghana, you will probably die because it's not available. And that's the saddest part. Like, why are my parents dying because of poverty rather than because of their disease? It's not the disease that's killing them.
Even in my own family, this has happened where somebody has passed away because they were in a serious accident, but if the medical attention was received right away, they would have still lived. And so this makes me livid.
You know, we don't have
I think that part of the problem is perhaps, I don't know, maybe it's a gross oversimplification of what the problem actually is. For a country that doesn't really, I guess, own all of our resources, we do a lot of because most things are free in Ghana. Education is free. Even university education, which is
it's very subsidized.
Advanced education is so subsidized. And I had good quality university education. Like my law faculty was like top tier quality education. And I had it for almost free. Like you don't get this anywhere. Maybe in certain socialist European countries. Healthcare is almost free in public hospitals.
It's not.
And
where?
No, I mean almost free.
No, it's not.
I mean, if you go to give birth, if you go to give birth in a public hospital, the amount you pay in Ghana is not the same as you pay in the West.
Yes,
let's bring it back to the book.
Yeah.
Elise, let's wrap up the book. I feel like we've forgotten why we're here.
I know,
right? And we've gone on, guys. Clearly,
this book has brought up issues.
Has brought up every issue that we have.
It did have
from government to social to
it has a lot of themes that she explored, touched on, which was really good. But yeah.
Okay, so now let's do the rating, because I feel like we've run through everything in the rating. Based on our Poka Reads rating, how would you rate this book? And our what do we call it? Our rating is the plot, the characters, the themes, the cultural relevance, the prose, and the writing. So based on that, Jessie, you have to do the math because I don't even know how we do that math.
Tipora usually does the math.
But okay, Tipora do the math for us.
I think Adwoa does the math though.
Hang on, what's the math again?
Everybody's
okay. All together. Sure.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I'm going to go by each one. I'll just give an overall. Is that okay?
The general one.
Say again.
Like I'm not ready. Jessie should go first.
Oh God, I'm still thinking.
You know what? Okay, I'll go. I think overall it was an excellent book. Definitely very culturally relevant, situated in the book. She incorporated sort of vernacular from local languages, the food, the mannerisms, all of that really came through, and you knew and felt like these characters were Ghanaian. And the ones that weren't, it also was apparent. So she did a really good job when they were kind of juxtaposing that existence with what was happening in the US as well. She spotlighted what happens and the reality of Black people in that. The writing style again, I'd be interested to see why Jessie said she lost you sometimes in the prose, but I personally liked her writing style. It flowed, good word choice, and she did a really good job of sort of giving subtle meaning to different things without explicitly stating, which is, sometimes like you reveal a character trait without revealing, like stating it, and I enjoyed some of that.
Going in that tip. I love it.
Yeah, the plot. About familiar relations. Listen, I was so excited to read this book because, listen, family drama is not something I'm immune to. So I was like, listen, like, are you speaking to me right now? The betrayal, this and that, people wanting to not hear the truth and rather sugarcoat things. And so all of that really felt eerily, not to say everything has happened to me or, but just felt familiar, and I really enjoyed it. So one theme that I did feel she sort of, and I know there may be so many themes and maybe she couldn't really explore this, but I wanted to maybe this wasn't a thing, but there were sometimes mentions of, especially from Selassie's end, describing Akofa's body. Oh, she looked like she always worked out. Akofa is petite. Akofa. So I wonder, I would have liked her to explore perhaps the theme of kind of how like physical traits or physical appearances kind of influence how you're perceived and how you move through the world as well, especially with sort of the African body and how, versus like the European body, perhaps even, and even among the students or the kids, like there wasn't really, she didn't dig into how beauty and perceptions of beauty may influence how people move through life. And I thought there were, and perhaps this wasn't a thing with the cousins, but that could have been something that she explored. But overall, I really like this book, and I'll give it a 4
out of 5.
out of 5.
I will.
About the body thing, I feel like what's her name? Just because not Akofa, what's the other one? Selassie she had like a voluptuous body. Selassie's mother was Akofa's mother was always referencing that and saying that because of that she's a loose child. Like,
Oh my
Yeah.
if you remember that that
Auntie Lucy was the worst.
Yeah.
Because she was, exactly. So it's like,
she was busty
big up
and
on
like,
talks. So
and
all
so
of
they
a
were
sudden
like, she
you're
was a bad girl
attracting men
because
or
of
wanting
that.
men. Yeah.
Exactly.
So
I
perceptions
mean,
like
it's the reality. Kids with big boobs and butts will be
Are always
sexualized more than.
yeah. When it's the adults doing the sexualizing, but the kids
Can
are
you
considered.
imagine this? Can you imagine?
Because as a child, I
Disgusting.
developed quite quickly. By like 10 or 11, I was probably like the way I am now. And at that age, that was voluptuous. I mean, now I'd be like, oh, she's so petite. But like, imagine being this size and with this ass and
When
these
you're
boobs
like 11
when
or
you're
12,
10,
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Jessie,
actually I had the opposite of what I think she did a lot of telling and not showing, especially in the second half of the book. The first part was a lot of showing and not telling. So I could pick up on things that she wasn't saying, and I felt like that was very intentional. Like something Akofa not seeing things and she not talking about them, and then the reader, seeing them. I thought that was very intentional, and I really like that. But then Selassie's part comes, and then this woman is just hammering the points in. There's a part I highlighted, I think the last chapter or the chapter before the last. She used like 3 proverbs to describe one thing. Like, I get it. I got it the first time. And also, after reading Akofa's story and then having to start Selassie's story and go through the same story again, I read this a few pages ago. I know it's from Akofa's perspective, but I get it. Like, so I guess that's why it felt very telling to me, because I gleaned all of what she went through in the first chapter, in the first
I
part.
think
I
that's
saw
what it is.
her grandmother died. I saw that. I mean, yeah, I saw things I didn't see the first time, like more of her mom and her telling us about
Yeah, I
her
like
mom
her grandmoms.
and her grandmother and then her siblings. But the main story of her time with I forget their last name actually. What are
Locals.
Yeah.
I think the locals.
Local, yeah.
with the
Oh,
locals
that's also a
and
very
everything. Like
a
it
very
just
nice name.
It's also
it
Ghanaian pop
was very
culture.
tedious for
Messy
me to read.
local.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I ended chapter 1 by feeling like I didn't like Selassie and Selassie was the bad one. So I think chapter 2 or book 2 was needed to flip my
Me
perspective. But I don't think
too.
it flipped your perspective reading it because you are
Me,
getting the
really
I
did.
didn't not like Selassie. I saw them for what they were. They're kids. She's a child. I mean, there's nothing a child would do to not make me like them. It's when you become an adult and you still have the same childish behavior
Some
like
child
a
has
papa did.
before,
As
some
when
child
I was
has
like,
not
this
laughed.
woman will not change because we all make mistakes. You can't help how you were raised. But at some point, you have no excuse. You should know better. You should know better, and she didn't. I also felt that the characters. I really enjoyed part 1. Really did. Flew through it in like a day or something. I don't remember. The characters, I didn't like that Kofa didn't grow. I thought that I also did not like that she had to be raped to see Selassie's
Yeah.
perspective.
Yeah.
And I thought using that as a plot device to bring them together, I don't really like that. I would have wanted something else. Selassie, Akofa should grow and then see something and try to build a bridge. She didn't grow. She was still self-centered, very much unaware. So I didn't really like that. The book excelled when it came to, I guess, themes and Ghanaian references and all of that. So I'll give it a 3.8.
Okay. 3.8.
For the 3.8. Okay, at least you go last. So let me go next.
Sure.
Since it's gonna be a 5 from you anyway.
How did you know?
Because you made everybody
It's a
your life
wild
reading.
guess. So yeah, I think much like what Tipora and Jessie have said, it brought out really important themes. And for me as well, the first half of the book I really enjoyed. I picked once I started, I was breezing through it. But once we turned to Selassie's side, not that I didn't care to hear her side, but it felt like I was reading the entire first part again, but just from a different perspective. And I wasn't learning new things necessarily about every single part. I was just hearing it in Selassie's voice. I think that Peace might have gotten that done by doing alternating POVs from the beginning. We read chapter 1 in Akofa's house. The very next chapter, let's see what's happening in Selassie's house. So that in chapter 3, when she comes back to Akofa's house, we already have in mind what happened to her in chapter 2 at her own house. And we understand why she does what she does. Like when she would just sit, I think her mom died, she would just sit in one place watching the TV. If we had the backstory of what that was heartbreaking. But we kind of see how she even got from her house to this house, what she's thinking about. I think alternating POVs would have like really sold the book. Otherwise, it should have just remained as a first POV. Because the minute Selassie's one, or when we got to Selassie's book, it should have gone on straight to her being an adult and what her experiences are currently as an adult. Having to go through their entire childhood again, just from Selassie's perspective, was so tiring for me. And so it kind of took away from some of my enjoyment. But otherwise, the book was great. So I think I'll do 4 stars as well.
Woohoo! Okay, so what am I? So the thing is that I didn't have a character I actually liked until I read Selassie's POV. And I agree, maybe she should have alternated it because there was a lot of fluff in that part in the Selassie's POV.
Can I interject and say, was this on purpose though? Do you feel like she wanted us to formulate certain thoughts,
Exactly,
think a
like a
certain way,
specific.
have a certain view, and then shock us
And then
with,
change our minds.
yeah, I think perhaps, and maybe it didn't work. It didn't work as well because yes, I think even me as much, I didn't like the second half as much as like the first half.
But then you were a little bit endeared to Selassie at the end, right? Where in the
When I
beginning
started
you
reading
didn't
her
like her.
perspective,
Yeah,
before I was
exactly.
I thought
Before
she
you
was a
didn't
bad girl. I thought she was a bad girl.
So maybe that would, I don't know if
Maybe
maybe that wouldn't have come out. Maybe she tested and realized that if she was doing well, I don't know, alternate POVs, people just wouldn't get the fact that like there's supposed to be a clear, you don't like her initially, but then until you hear her perspective, then you like her. You know what I'm saying? So
I think he's biased as a writer, and I'm sure writers are Selassie, because she wrote Selassie's POV as facts. And Akofe's and Akofe's POV with no one. So you could see the flaws of Akofa and her family, even though Akofa is not seeing them herself. So as a reader, you can see the uncle will say something, but Akofa is not seeing that her dad is doing anything bad, except when it's towards her and her dad doesn't want to pay her fees. You could see Auntie Lucy's flaws, very glaring, but Akofa is not seeing it. But when it came to Selassie, almost as if it's a third person POV and I should take this as facts. But Selassie is also flawed. And I'm sure she saw things a certain way as well. So I guess I don't know. So I didn't really like Selassie's POV. I think I liked her
do you
more
think
in part one.
it had something to do with her writing it the way that each of them would actually have written? How do I explain it?
Like their personalities, how
yeah, like you know how
Possibly.
people would consider and not people, like in the book Akofa was considered the intellectual one, the one that's able to like, you know, assert herself, blah blah blah, whereas what's her name, Selassie is not. Selassie has to like she what did she like?
Is she not? She's perceived as not being intellectual, but probably she is. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a
I don't think
that
he's more street smart than book smart, but that
exactly.
it seems
that's
like
what it seemed like in the book.
That's a distinction between them, and
perhaps the writing style had something to do with that. I didn't pay attention to that so much. But that being said,
of course, a girl staying with a grandmother who is taking care of 5 other kids is going to have sex with a boyfriend. Like, I didn't think she was a bad girl because of that. I mean, I have the privilege of growing up with my parents who were very strict and made sure all of the things, and I was able to recognize that.
It still happened.
Actually, and yet, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm joking.
I'm a good virtual girl.
I'm talking about myself.
Yeah.
Keeping myself for the Lord.
Love it.
Oh, that's funny.
Anyway, sorry about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just like, oh, poor Selassie. I wanted to give Selassie a hug. Like, this girl is
honestly, a lot of times I did. Yeah.
is going through it.
Yeah.
I do like that they all found love, like healthy relationships.
Yes,
Akofa
that
and
they were trying to
Selassie.
destroy.
Great husbands.
She had a great husband.
That they were
Akofa's
trying
husband
to
is
destroy.
great. For some
Akofa
reason,
was just trying to
Selassie's husband
destroy
in my
her
head is a politician and with so
No,
much money in his
love
30s, and I'm
Selassie's
thinking,
husband. I love Selassie's husband. He was.
I love
He's- he-
Akofa's
good
husband.
for
I think
him.
Akofa's husband is great.
I like how Akofa's husband met her day one and said, "This is the one for me." Chased her down consistently, took her home, married her. Just a single-minded.
She got married so young. She got married at 24 or something.
Yeah.
24, that was so young.
Yeah. Yeah, Kofi. I loved Kofi.
Kofi was the real MVP.
Good guy. See, funny enough, the good characters in the book are the men. Apart from Becky, there's not a woman in the book as a sensible character.
Oh, grandma was okay.
Grandma is good. Selassie's sister
And
promise.
according to
promise.
Lucy, she's not.
Promise to was onto something. She will not allow nonsense.
And Aunt Aurelie.
I know the way
was
she
also good for taking
Aunt Aurelie was good.
How when I listened to the audio, I thought Aunt Aurelie was a Ewe name.
No, that means
The way
aunt.
that they were pronounced. I know tant means aunt, but they pronounce this together like tantorally.
Naturally, I'm sure that's how they say it.
I kept
Oh,
thinking it's
Santorally.
an Ewe name. And then I
So
read
wait,
the,
does
I
that
I opened the
mean
actual
Selassie?
book.
Is Selassie then from Togo?
No,
No,
the
her
Ewas in
dad
Ghana and
was from
Togo.
Togo.
Yeah, so the
No,
place
but
where I
Tante
went,
Wally lived in Togo,
Togo.
and
In
it's
Togo.
her family home. So I feel like she's Togolese but lives in Ghana.
So
or
that at that
Ghanaian.
Now, you know,
border,
even
It
it's
happens.
very
That's
mixed.
what
At that
happens.
border,
it
it's very
happens.
mixed. That's where I worked, and you can't like they speak Ewe, they all speak Ewe. They
Their
can
family,
speak
yeah.
level
But
of
nationality.
Yeah.
French. They
And the
consider
Nzima was
themselves
border as
Ghanaians.
well.
Some of
And
them
all of the
consider
Yeah.
borders
themselves
actually.
Ghanaians.
Yeah.
Some of them
You
consider
have
themselves
Ghanaians
Togolese.
having,
So it's a
Togolese
loose
or
border.
So, but then I
Ivorian.
think
was wondering.
for
I was like, oh,
It's
she's
very
Togolese.
loose
I
at
didn't know
that
that.
border.
yeah,
It's very
yeah,
loose
yeah.
at that
Even
border.
her aunties, Diodone, you guys, Uncle
Diodone,
Diodone
oh my
too
God,
was from
Diodone.
Togo.
Diodone.
We didn't touch on
Another
Diodone.
one.
Now
Diodone
we're going
was,
to
he was a
lambast that
bastard of a
man.
And
man.
Aunt
Another one
Florence.
that should not have been married to that woman. Oh my God.
No, no,
Diodone.
no.
You know, when I
She
first
might better
read,
off
when
being
I
a
first
single
read
woman.
the rape scene or the essay scene, I thought it was
I thought it was going to be him.
Diodone.
From the beginning,
And
I
then
thought
I
he
saw
would be the
that
one that
I
would
had
do
to go
that.
back and reread and realize it was Michael.
I thought
Because I
Jodone
didn't
would
see
do
that
that from the
coming from
beginning.
Michael.
Diodone,
Michael.
Even
useless,
that time when
jealous
he
man.
Diodone grabbed her and made her sit outside, I thought he was about to like sexually assault her
Me
when he
too.
grabbed her
Me
hand.
too.
We forgot about him.
It was
He was
giving
so,
essay vibes for sure.
so
Yeah.
disgusting. Anyways, okay.
Anyway, so
Sorry,
my
go on.
rating of the book would be a 4.5, to be very honest.
Tell us
Okay.
more.
Gasp.
Only lost points because I feel like she could have done the second part a little bit like with less fluff. That's the only thing. Otherwise, excellent book. And it really made me sit down and question myself. Have there been times in my life when I was on Akofa and I called my sister and my brother and was like, were there ever times when we were Akofas? Look, we have to find
Did you have cousins staying with you when you were growing
all
up
the time.
from your parent, from your dad's side?
Maybe you should call those
From
cousins.
my mom's side, we don't. My mom, there's three, so we have two cousins, and they don't live in Ghana, so we're not. But my dad, we're close to our cousins on my dad's side, like pretty
Are you
close.
still friends?
Yes, with most of
Then
them.
everything is fine.
No, but
Yeah.
like if we were Akofas at some point, and they
I was
just
definitely on Akofa.
They've just
Sitting
forgiven
on the
you.
fridge and not cleaning and chatting while somebody's sweating and working. I'm like, hey, so see what happened to me.
Imagine.
I don't know how to wash dishes. I did not.
so
Yeah.
it made me question myself, and I like that. I like it when books are able to make me self-reflect and try to be a better person. So I like the book a lot. And yeah.
Even if I wanted to, I think I would have preferred to be an Akofa growing up, but my dad
Hey.
would not allow
Just because.
my dad's
You see,
house.
the thing is that if I
But
had been
my
an
dad,
Akofa, means my parents
like
would not be
even now, I tell him I've paid my dues. Even now, like I've done all of this work. Like, what do you want from me?
I
When I
relax.
come,
Sure.
I should sit down and be served. Why do I
Sure.
have to do all
In
of
his
these things
house.
I did growing up?
I was definitely
When
Akofa.
we even go to a restaurant, right? And I'm ordering like the waitress around. My food can be like, why even disrespectful?
I just want my food,
for the
please.
service.
Can I get up and go and serve
The
myself?
one person I can give orders to, I'm in trouble.
Sometimes you even say my mother is spoiling me, and it's the most basic
All the
thing.
time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Oh,
I'm telling you,
but I think
our fathers
that's an
are the
African
same.
dad thing. Yeah, it is an African dad thing. They always think that their mother is spoiling you, and then doing
Did
the
your
most.
mother come to your room and take all your plates and cups down to the kitchen?
Hey, there was no food allowed in
Yes.
the room. So
Yeah, so actually you're not allowed to eat
People are washing
in
for
the
you.
bedroom.
there was no
He would specifically
food
say
allowed
no
in
one
the
should wash his plates or take his plates. You will take it.
Oh,
So, like
wow.
you,
Really taught
even if I
discipline.
wanted to be an Akofa, and I would have loved to be an Akofa,
I
could not.
I would have felt so bad, like being an Akofa and then reading this book.
I could not. I was forced.
Any of my
to do
family
things in
members,
my
I've been an
house.
Akofa, please. I did not know.
Is it okay if you are an Akofa to like somebody that was being paid?
No, but that's not being an Akofa. If somebody is being paid and they're washing dishes, I'm not obliged to expect the same level. Like it's different if it's my cousin and we're both being marked on the same academic level. they're saying that I'm not learning, that's why I'm not doing well. But she's
Yeah.
sitting on the fridge and going to study right after, and I am cooking and cleaning.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah,
someone is being
that's
paid,
much.
that's their job, So I feel like that's different. So yeah, well, thank you.
This is a
I'm
great book.
very
Final
glad
score,
that you
final
all read
score.
this
So
book.
the Poka Read score is 4 stars based on
Woo!
Elise surprisingly pulling a final 4.5 at the end. So it's
Yeah.
4 stars for
Interesting.
us.
Or okay, the 3.8 was net. Okay, I see.
Yeah, but
Amazing.
it's a great book. I love it. Now you guys should go and read her other book. What's
His
it
Only
I'd
called?
His
actually
Only
like to
Wife,
read it.
yeah.
His Only Wife.
His
Yeah,
Only
you will
Wife.
hate the ending, but like you'll love the book.
Oh,
Oh, given that you like
But
this
it's
ending,
also
I'm pretty
great
sure I would love that
representation.
ending. Because if you like
let
this
me go and
ending,
finish
you
chapter
hate that
16.
ending.
Yeah,
My
I feel
bookmark.
like you will like the end. You will hate the ending.
You think so?
Read it and then come back to me. Let's see. You never know.
Okay. Okay.
We haven't picked our next book, but yeah,
Yeah,
so we can
who's-
Oh, we
introduce.
have, haven't we? Isn't it the
No,
what's her name?
I think we have one more month
Oh,
before.
it's 1 month before that.
Before Adeswa, yeah, that's in September.
Ah,
But we'll
right.
let everybody know.
So yeah, I read that book and I have thoughts. So
Should we read her next
We
book?
like thoughts.
Is his only wife?
do y'all want to read it?
No, let's pick someone else.
You said no.
Someone else?
I mean, I
Okay.
like
Any
it, but
other?
I don't want to discuss the same author.
Let's read not NightBloom. What am I saying? Legend Born. Apparently, it's a great book.
What's
It's
that?
Who's this?
it's a black something something.
Legend Born.
You don't know the name of the author?
No, I don't.
Legend. Is it
Someone
Tracy
casually mentioned
Dion?
it to me a while
Tracy
ago. I haven't
Dion.
read it.
Tracy Dion.
Another fantasy.
No, Nanadra should pick a book because technically the book that we've read was her book. So you let us know what to read.
Okay, I need to think on it a bit. Nothing
Yeah,
comes to
not
mind
now, not now.
immediately.
Yeah, we can put it on our IG when we decide. So
Yeah.
well,
Okay.
before reading the book, I'm so glad that we had so many thoughts. So glad that it made for such a good discussion. Tell all your family members to read it so that they will also check if they are
Keep
us.
giving you commission. What's happening?
I wish
Sure.
I should go and get commission from
Peace. At least needs a
You should
commission.
have been here for this discussion.
I really wish she was because I have
You should have been here.
Yeah, but I feel like it's a good thing. It's a good book to read as a family because it makes you question certain things that you otherwise
Like
don't
family
think.
values and stuff. Yeah.
The family theme
Yeah.
was prominent and definitely affects. I think everybody it touches upon all of our
Relate,
family dynamics. Yeah, for sure.
Mhm, yeah.
Well,
All
thank
right.
you guys for another Poka Reads sponsored by Poka Health app.
Yeah.
And
go
peace
and-
media clearly.
The Poka Health app.
Right? So do go and check it out. It's a period tracker for African women. And, we have these discussions to sort of draw themes that relate specifically to African culture, to African women, to help us on our growth journey. So until the next time,
Mhm.
right? We'll let you know what our next book is. Bye.
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 Oh.